Woo!
All right, what is up, comics fans?
I just love that intro. Oh, welcome, Crypto Comics Nation.
Oh, were you busy, Darren?
Yeah, I was reading the 10th movie.
Oh, good man. Good. I hear it's great.
Thanks.
No problems. No problems.
We were interrupting.
Great book. Yes.
Oh, do I keep interrupting? I'm sorry.
No, I think we interrupted Darren in his reading.
I apologize. Just so y'all know, I interrupt a lot.
What's gonna happen? Why don't you do it at intro?
It's drag. All right, so we got Jared, Matt, and Fry here, and we are here for the 20th anniversary of the 10th Muse with Darren Davis of TidalWave Productions and Blue Wave Productions, also TidalWave Comics and Blue Wave Comics. Darren.
It was X Blue Water.
Oh, X Blue Water. The man, the myth, the legend, Darren Davis.
Woo! Cheers, everyone!
Cheers!
Woo!
I hope you guys are partying because this is a party.
I'm drinking light beer to keep my childbearing hips in check.
You don't work for TidalWave and not drink.
Wait, hold on. We have Andrew Shade, Monsters Among Us. Also, is writing Stormy Daniels' Space Force. And I just hired him to do a sequel to Juliet, which is called Juliet and Romeo, which is a modern day. Talk about that too. Super cool. Love it. Then we got.
Cool.
I'm just going to go in order here. So then we got Joe Paradise, who is the Tiger King. He's the Joe Exotic, ironically, which is kind of weird. And that was always the biggest question we got when we did the Tiger King comic book.
What?
Yeah, the Tiger King comic book. And they would like go, Joe Paradise, wait, is he the one that is in jail? And we're like, no. So
not yet. He's good.
So we've been working together for about 8 years. He did like comics, biography comics, such as like Bernie Sanders, Political Power, what else? The Dog. No. And we just did the Tiger King together. We did Rand Paul. We've done Hillary Clinton. We've done a bunch of biographies together. And
We did Stormy Daniels' biography.
So, and he's worked at Rock and Roll Comics back in the day. Then we have Adam Rodenberg, who 20 years ago I started this venture with, and he's wearing his little TidalWave shirt.
Come on, Adam, show it. Show it off. Now's your chance, dude. Wait, side, wrong
There
side.
we go. Oh,
Let's see the back now. Turn it around. Turn it around.
little side boob action going
That's
on.
so awesome. Studios. This is the third way I've heard TidalWave now.
Totally.
TidalWave Studio. Well, let's see the back. Come on, Adam.
Okay, that's good. I should know that this T-shirt has been on me. I've been wearing it for 20 years straight. It's the only thing I own. So
It's never been taken off.
Never been taken off.
That is incredible.
Very
I would
cool.
So
I would never wear it because it didn't come in a tank top. So
I was gonna say, suck up.
Darren is allergic to sleeves.
I'm allergic to sleeves. So that actual logo was the first logo that we had when we started this 20 years ago, and it was done by IDW. So, which is weird, and we were going to hire IDW to do this whole comic book thing with us and bring them along, and then we ended up just doing it ourselves. So, which is kind of cool. But we hired them to do some stuff. Then I have Michael Frizzell to my other side, and
The other side.
like
Go the opposite. Just always think opposite. If you want to point at this person, you go the opposite direction they are on the screen. Boom! That works too.
Michael Frizzell, I've been working with for about 10 years too. He's one of my writers. Great guy. We just did, what did we do together? We are doing Tiger King 2. We are doing Tiger King. And the new book, which is AOC.
Ooh.
Here right now, you've seen this. So this is written by Michael.
Right on.
So this is the premiere. Nobody has seen this book.
Oh, are you kidding? We got a premiere. This is my first premiere. Hold on. I'm feeling awesome. 1 second.
You're rock.
I'm ready.
He's also the writer of Stormy Daniels' Space Force, which is really bad.
I love that cover. That is so great.
I know. I know.
My Southern Baptist dad just told me, he goes, I saw pictures from that Space Force, Andrew. It's a little racy. And I was like,
so Michael's been working for me for 10 years. He has his own books too. And this is just, these are the people that make my life fun. So, and
that is awesome.
Along with them for a long time has been super great too. This is where I cry. So.
Well, let me give you another reason to cry real quick. Just real quick. 1 second. I got something for you here. Let me see.
Hi everyone, it's Summer Seasons from Darcel 15 Showplace. We just want to say congratulations to Darren Davis and TidalWave Productions on your 20th anniversary of 10th Muse and being in the comic book industry. We cannot wait to see what you have in store for us in the next 20. Congratulations. We look forward to more.
That's awesome.
She wore her Elsa wig, which is the same hairstyle. That's
awesome.
Thank you, Summer. I love you.
Well, I got someone else for you. You might know a Crystal.
Hi, Darren. It's me. 20 years. Wow. 20 years of publishing comics. I think that's about when I met you. Maybe a little afterwards, but you know, I always have the 10th Muse to thank for that because that was the only comic book I even touched. Anyway, we've been through a lot, and I hope we'll be out of this pandemic soon and I'll get to see you, but I wish you continued success and keep it going. Love you. Congratulations. Bye.
Oh, I'm stressing now.
That's wonderful.
This could be a drinking game. Whenever Darren cries, take a drink.
I don't know if we could laugh.
Hey now.
So
no public intoxication. We're all allegedly drinking live. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I
Crystal,
don't know what the rules are on that.
Crystal was she was like my biggest fan, and and then we became like such good friends, and she would just like buy everything I ever did. You remember Crystal, Adam? Don't you? You don't remember her?
I'm sorry, 20 years? I don't what? It's been a while. I mean, come on. I barely remember you.
She did 50 Shades of what is it? 50 Shades of Twilight?
Yeah, so
Games.
50 Shades of the Twilight Games. Yeah, it's a parody book that we did. But I remember she, like my ex, surprised me for my birthday and brought Crystal all the way from Kentucky, which Andrew's from too. And so she's like, okay, you know what? Forks is not that far away from where you guys live, is where Twilight was. And we were also doing a Twilight comic book. We were doing Robert Pattinson or Kristen Stewart or whatever biography book. And so she made us drive 4 hours to go to Forks, Washington, where actually Twilight takes place, which was, oh, hey, that's Ollie. Hey, he's the colorist on 10th Muse, Power of Valkyrie, and Juliet. So he's super great.
Wow, awesome.
Awesome. So 4 hours going to Forks, and it ended up being really beneficial because I sold more comics there. They had 500 unique people that came there a day just for Twilight, and they have 5 stores of Twilight stores back then. So I sold a ton of books to them. So.
Oh, wow. Well, hey, go ahead.
I was just saying thank you, Crystal.
That was such a great message. And we have more message actually coming in, so we do want to touch base with chat real quick.
Yeah, it looks like.
And actually, so Alexandri Starling, that was the one you were mentioning before, right?
Yeah, he's a colorist for us. He's such a great guy. He actually colored this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, super great, and did all the interior. So new 10th Muse out. Literally, wow, it just came out too. So 20 years later.
And then Emma Davis. Hi, Uncle Darren.
Hey. So the story about Emma, and this is kind of a secret to how I create comic books, is I name all my characters based off family members. And so Emma is actually the 10th Muse. So so
very cool.
So yeah, so it's Emma, Brett, my nephew, my mom Dawn, and Grayson, who is my dog.
That's awesome.
So yeah, and so even to this day, even in Space Force, I have Mickey, which is one of the robots, which is my sister-in-law, and then my stepson Cameron is Daniel. What's the name? Cam 23186. And the funny part about that is that's his PIN number. So he literally gave his PIN number away.
Whoops.
and on YouTube. That's great.
Oh, no. Don't worry, we'll just edit that out. We'll just edit that out later.
Yes.
No wonder why every time I work on the script, my bank account changes. I figured it out.
So back on chat, we have Leslie saying, "Hey everyone."
Hey Leslie.
Masapil.
Okay. I was like, what?
EB is my mentor. I used to work with her at Entertainment Television. Amazing gal. Taught me everything that I knew about marketing or know about marketing. I really learned from her. So.
Hold on one second.
Well,
Darren, I just want to say congratulations on your anniversary. It's amazing, 20 years. And just think, 30 years ago, I was teaching you everything you needed to know, right? Coordinator? Happy anniversary. I'm so proud of you.
Oh,
that is the most wholesome video I think I've ever seen.
Oh, looks like he's about to cry again.
Shut up. You're crying. I'm not.
Everybody take a drink.
What?
But
I'm going to be real drunk on this one.
Videos that we got, honest to God, I did not watch them before. I just sent them to you guys, or Andrew got some and all this stuff. I did not watch anything.
And thank you for the opportunity. This is just awesome to be able to be with you guys and really celebrate something amazing. 20 years, 20 years ago, the 10th Muse launched on this day, and it was the 6th top-selling comic. It was outselling comics like Batman and things of that nature. During that time, you were publishing with Image. Tell us a little bit about what it was like back then. I mean, anybody can actually go into the marketplace and see the very first 10th Muse. Just sign up with the URL that's being shown below, cryptocomics.com/u/TidalWave. And you'll actually be able to join into the marketplace and just give us an understanding of what it was like back then.
Adam?
Well, I mean, do you want to go into like a little history of how it all began?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So
I love this.
Oh wow! Wait, let's look at some images first. That is so.
Oh, we can do this while you're telling us about everything.
That is so.
We want to hear what you have to say.
Start talking, Adam. Come on now.
All right. So Darren and I were friends, and I was working at I was in the entertainment industry. I was working at a film production company, always looking for properties to develop for film and television purposes, and this company was working with Rena Mero and on another TV project. Rena Mero, who was our model for the 10th Muse.
But she was also
what?
She was saying WWF or WWF.
Yeah. Yeah, she was like a World Wrestling at the time Federation Championship wrestler, very popular, very beautiful, one of their divas. And so I brought the idea or Darren was talking about a comic book idea. Darren, I forget like who started that or whatnot, but so we started this comic book idea with the relationship with Rita Mero, and it was Darren's baby, his creative baby. And so I was working for this company, and one day walk into work, and the company is bankrupt. It's gone. They're like, you can all go home, right? And so I said, well, now I have nothing to do. So why not continue along with this project and let's continue on. Let's make it our thing. And so we pressed forward with it. And I was the one that really wanted to, create intellectual property for film and television. And Darren brought his expertise in the comic book world, and is really the driving force of this, obviously, of this whole endeavor, and turns it into what it is today. And 20 years later is still going. So that is a very short story of the beginnings of how this comic book even started. And then, of course, we went to Comic-Con and kind of launched a preview there, and then released the book several months later. So
now, do you recognize that page on the left there?
So the picture on the left is all right. Let me see if I can do this. I love the picture on the left. Okay, so much that if you want to go back, right, I have it. The actual page frame. This is the inked and pencil page. This is, and I just put it together with the. Let me sure which way am I turning it. This is the actual, just one of the pages from the book. That's what it looks like. And then this is a page from our preview book, which I can pull out in a second. But yeah, this is the one-of-a-kind, original, one-only page, which we just saw. And I'm very proud of this, to be holding this after all these years. Just love it.
That is cool.
One of my favorite pages.
It is.
That is totally awesome.
Very cool.
It's so weird. Yeah. And now in this time that I never see any pencil pages. Joe, I think you actually draw digitally, don't you? Or no, you actually don't. You don't. Or sometimes
I used to. I did all the political books in just straight to computer on the Wacom tablet, but lately I've just been working, with
this is great.
This highly technical piece of
dude, you've been, oh my god, cutting edge.
He did the whole Tiger King.
And you can get some nice.
Are you serious?
Oh, let's pull that.
Oh my gosh, I totally underestimated. Wow. I totally underestimated Crayola.
Yeah, that is impressive.
Or underestimated Joe Paradise.
Well, fancy art supplies are for posers, but I got to tell you, these things are completely underrated. I think because they're made for kids, that they can deal with the abuse. But you can get a nice broad line. If you use a gentle hand, you can get a really light line. And if you have good control, you can get any line you need. And it costs about 65 cents for one of those.
Oh. Hey, you heard it here first, everyone. You heard it here first.
Oh, what were you saying, Darren?
This was actually drawn with that Crayola.
That is fantastic.
Wow.
Yeah, the whole book is literally Crayola. Oops. Sorry, Carol Baskin.
Just to be clear, this stream is in no way sponsored by Crayola. But
right. We don't know. We're not affiliated. We just
endorse me. That's
just give out secrets.
Yeah, if they want to pump in, if they want to give you something, you wouldn't say no.
I might. I don't know them.
If they give us anything, it's going to be papers for a lawsuit. So let's just stay off of that one. Coming from chat, Joe Frazier says the date on the first page of 10th Muse is September 15th. Happens to be Crypto Comics' birthday. Yeah.
Darren, didn't we plan it that way, Darren?
We totally did.
20 years ago, we knew. We knew.
Of course, you guys knew. This is cutting edge.
It's synchronicity.
It is synchronicity.
There you go.
It is, Darren.
Oh.
Got Diana on YouTube saying the 10th Muse isn't just Darren's flagship comic book; it's a love letter to his family. No.
Aww.
Speaking of which, we need to do a T-shirt giveaway really quick.
Yes,
and
we do.
I can't help but just say that we don't have a choice. Where's Emma at in chat? Emma needs that one.
Oh yes, I think
So,
I think that is 100%.
Find her comment. There you go, Emma Davis on YouTube.
And
Uncle
she's
Darren hooking you up with the
Show
first
the
giveaway.
shirt again, Fry. Show the shirt again.
No, all right.
She's a teacher too, so I'm super proud of her.
I love that.
Oh, what does she teach?
Oh, junior high.
Oh, that's
she doesn't get paid enough. I can tell you right now, she doesn't get paid enough. I just did a substitute job, and it was a nightmare. And enough teachers should be paid.
Wait a second.
I love the fact that the software I set up on Jared's computer literally cuts his voice out when he gets too excited.
Remember when I like back in the day, we were pretty cutting edge for an independent company. So we were actually selling ads in our comic books. And so we had to deal with Lionsgate. I used to work at Lionsgate. So we made a deal with them at one of the conventions and I think you were there, Adam, is to have her roll. She ended up rolling posters for some like horror film on the floor of at the convention space, rolling like this like Lionsgate murder or something, and I think he was like 12 or something.
You know, I was going to ask because, you know, last time I saw Emma, she's still 12, right? How is she teaching? What's going on there? You know, she's still a little girl. What's happening? Gosh.
Well, that will happen.
Crazy how that changed.
Emma, make sure you shoot us a message on cryptocomics.com/contact. Let us know that you won this so we can get your address and shirt size and everything.
Yes, Darren, make sure that she gets her information to us so we can make sure that she gets that shirt.
And thank you, Nevada.
And thank you, Nevada.
What?
Somebody want to explain it to him?
Political mess.
Don't explain it to me. Wait, maybe you should.
Jared, it's a conspiracy theory. Just go with that.
Okay. We all know how I go on those.
All right, it's time to change the subject. So let me jump back over onto chat here. Rose Kirby says, "Hi, Darren. Congrats on 20 years. Why does your girls remind me of the original Pokemon animated TV series?"
That's an interesting one.
Well, congrats on 20 years from that one, though.
Yeah.
So the character design for 10th Muse was done by Randy Green. We did Witchblade and Black Widow. So we wanted her to be strong, feminine, and we did this literally as a strong female empowerment book, rather than just like, you know, at the time it was all Top Cow, TNA, and all that type of stuff, and so we wanted to showcase, you know, female empowerment. And that kind of goes into what we do now. Is we also do female empowerment comic book called Female Force. So I don't know why it looks like a Pokemon character.
I do. I know why. Hey, can I turn?
Yes, go for it.
Bright colors.
Okay.
We'll give you that. We'll give Jared that one.
You guys are all slow. I mean, I thought I would. Come on, you guys should have got that one.
You're fantastic. You are the leader of the industry, Jared. Diana comes up from YouTube saying, "Joe, that's some magic marker." That's great.
That's a magic marker. I can't believe how awesome you do with them Crayolas, dude. Man, I'm like, you are a god.
Well, thank you.
Got Alexander.
When I'm not doing comics, I do live caricature at gigs, parties. I've been at the Philadelphia Phillies for the last 15 years, and obviously not this year. But
Right.
you know, you use these Crayola markers for a while. You'll learn how to use the tool. You use it enough, and you just, you know, you don't even have to think about it anymore. You know it. It's an extension of your body.
Alexander on YouTube
like
says,
that.
I use some Crayola pens on my DC Comics sketch cards.
Excellent.
That would
comrade.
be really difficult to get those fine details in a small sketch card. You must be doing them quite a bit larger.
They have fine tip Crayolas, Fry.
Not that fine tip.
I'm just saying. I thought you would know that as a designer.
I do. There's a difference. Daniel says, using a gentle hand. A bunch of laughing faces.
Oh, that's right.
That's my husband.
Everybody gets all quiet. Okay. Sheldon on YouTube comes in and says, hello, Darren, congrats. I remember the young Darren spending your allowance on comic books and giving you a hard time. Love you.
That's my dad.
That's awesome.
I used to ride my bike at least, I think, 5 miles. I can't even do 5 miles now on a bike. But but I used to ride to 7-Eleven and buy comic books. And I would buy New Teen Titans, and I would buy like Brave and the Bold or some of my favorite books. So it's, you know, he never wanted me to work. I didn't even think I was going to work in comic books either. I ended up getting hired by Wildstorm, which got taken over by DC, because they doubled my salary from when I was working at Lionsgate. So I was like,
oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's how I ended up falling into comic books. And then from there, I ended up getting let go from DC Comics because they didn't know really what to do with me. I was selling stuff for them outside of the comic book industry. So like video game packaging and, you know, toy designs, all that type of stuff. And they had a division at DC, and then they kind of filtered that into Warner Brothers. So we really didn't know what to do. So they gave me a choice of either editing Star Trek books down in San Diego when I was living in LA, or being let go and I get to take my client.
Or not.
Yeah, or not. But ironically, like whatever, 15 years later, I end up working with William Shatner editing his book. So I ended up
Star Trek still got you, huh?
Yeah, he's awful.
It was just meant to be.
Yeah.
Did you say he's awful?
He's pretty awful, yeah.
Really?
He Twitters me. And yes, Andrew's like looking at me going, Darren, just talk slowly. Andrew's my
Have a few more drinks, Darren. We want to hear these stories.
No.
Come on now. What's going on here with William Shatner?
We did this. My brother actually worked on this book. He wrote it with William Shatner. It's Tech War, the Tech War. So we did about like 3 different series with him. And he really liked us, and he was super kind. And then whenever the phone would ring and it would be William Shatner, I'd be like, because you don't want to see William Shatner like come up on your phone. It's super scary. And
that's funny. We get scared when you call.
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, well, we know how that feels.
So then,
tell us more.
Then just like probably 2 years ago, because we don't have the rights to this anymore. And all of a sudden, you know, one of our digital publishers actually took it and publicized it. And it shouldn't have been up there. It should have been taken down. And he literally went on a Twitter tirade against me.
Oh.
It was like really horrible. Because you have to think like not just the William Shatner fans, but the Star Trek fans just literally put into me. And so not all press is good press. So
what? That's the
This isn't the only time that you've had like Twitter and everybody come at you.
Oh shit!
So,
if he killed or didn't kill, or might have killed. So.
No, you.
Oh my
there's
God!
a story that I want to get into.
Yeah.
So you were at one point in time a white supremacist. Is that right?
Yeah.
What?
Michael's face. Oh.
So
I'm gonna watch the comments, guys. You guys just keep talking.
You got to tell the story because I found it hilarious. And
yeah. So,
yeah.
I'm kidding. So I was transitioning from Blue Water to Stormfront Entertainment, and I had a company called Stormfront Entertainment. It was in the 90s, and in the 90s, Stormfront was not a bad term. It was just a term. And so I had logos, and so I'm thinking because I had to change the name from Blue Water to something else. We had a TV show deal. We couldn't use the word Blue Water, so we changed it to something else. And so I thought I have this logo, bam, done. And so, did you type in stormfront.org?
Yeah, I did just now.
Stormfront.org.
Don't do that.
Let's clarify real quick, Darren. Anybody watching chat, don't do that.
Don't.
Yeah.
Don't give them the
I'll be
page
right back.
views. Don't give them the advertisement revenue.
No.
I was not aware. I'm not that bright sometimes.
I told you so. I told you so. So then Bleeding Cool, who just hates me, and Bleeding Cool is it's like the TMZ of the comic book world.
Mm-hmm.
And just to give you a little perspective of that is that I used to published at 10th Muse for 2 issues through Avatar, and they did such a horrible job with it. And then I also lent 10th Muse to Avatar to do a crossover with Demon Slayer. And during that time, she's getting spanked on the ass by Demon Slayer. They're bending her over backwards and licking each other in 10 or 15 different covers. And I'm like, this is not why I created, because I literally said I created 10th Muse as a female empowerment kind of thing.
Right.
And not a sexualized, that was never my intention to do that with her. And so I got super pissed, left Avatar.
Good.
And not Avatar, Avatar. Yeah, sorry. I didn't want to get the other one mixed up. Okay. And so with Avatar, they own Bleeding Cool.
Mm-hmm.
And Rich Johnson years later started coming after me. And then even when he was coming after me, he wanted to do a royal wedding comic book with me because we do the biography things and all this stuff. And this is for the Prince William and Kate Middleton.
Mm-hmm.
And he comes to me and goes, "Can I do a comic book with you?" And I'm like, "Well, we're already doing one." And then he just turned it into a contest. And of course, ours won and sold better.
Cheers, everybody. Cheers.
Cheers.
That's a win. That's a win right there. That's a win.
Michael, Andrew, you guys doing okay? Both of you guys are just sitting here the whole time. Like, this.
Doing just fine. Kind of enjoying the stories tonight.
Okay, good.
You know, it's best to let Darren sink himself.
This is Andrew's book, Monsters Among Us.
Oh, cool.
I could not find the graphic novel, so
that is great.
That over there. So yeah, Andrew is my best friend and also a comic writer, and it's excellent. So,
and he's been all the way around the world.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Tell us about it, Andrew.
Andrew's on Amazing Race.
Oh, wait.
Are you frozen?
I think he's done, checked out. There you go. Okay, we didn't hear anything.
That frozen shot of him is how he always looks at me anyway. It's
no.
So while he's
I don't know, I was gonna have to talk. I was just having wine. So, no, yeah, I grew up as a comic kid. I had a lot of bad grades in class because I was writing and drawing my own comic books during class, and so it's fun to get to do it now as a real person. But Monsters Among Us, I just love urban legends, Bigfoot, Chupacabra, the Mothman. I'm obsessed with that kind of stuff. Maybe to a creepy level. I love that stuff, and so that's kind of what that whole series was based off of. And it's kind of a fun thing to get to write something, from the beginning and create all the characters. And and I just play make believe in my head. So
now wait a minute. Now wait a minute. We have
writing.
Sorry,
spamming.
sorry, you're getting out there a
reality
second. I thought there was a pause.
My favorite moment in comic books with Andrew literally was we went to the Waco Comic Book Convention and we're promoting Monsters Among Us, promoting other things, and they put us on a panel, and we knew that we were the first panel of the day. There's nobody going to be there. So we literally filled, ironically, we filled these things with like vodka because it was in Texas, so you can like. So we ended up like totally drinking on this panel, and there's like maybe 5-6 people around, and one of our friends was drinking it and stuff, and so I'm getting drunker as the time goes on because we have to be there for an hour, and you can actually literally see me getting drunker, and I'm like, and because Andrew was on The Amazing Race, so I said, Andrew, can you give us some travel tips? So yeah, that was.
Well, I have a way to show how much of an overachiever Andrew is. So 1 second, guys.
Congratulations, Darren and TidalWave on 20 years in comic books. That's 20 years of making adventures and thrills and taking people to places they would never go. So congratulations. That's quite an accomplishment, and keep those adventures coming for all of us.
All right, everybody.
You can cry, Darren. It's okay. You can cry.
Let me go in and check with chat again here. Leslie says it cuts him out every single time with a laughing face. Yep, we set up software so that Jared's voice would cut out as soon as he gets too loud, and it's working perfectly.
You guys are jerks.
Sandra says that damn voice again. LOL. Diana on YouTube says to our whole panel, what's your favorite comic book and why?
Ooh. 10th Muse. I'm picking it. 10th Muse.
There you go.
Why? Because it's the 20th anniversary, which means it was a great comic book. It has a shit ton of like issues and episodes in the marketplace. Oh my God, there's so many. It's incredible, and it's a great, fun read. Great artwork. I just check it out in the marketplace. It's phenomenal. Anybody else? Go ahead.
And it's an ice cream.
Oh my God!
What is that?
What?
Wait, what? Hold on 1 second.
Sorry about the lighting. It's literally 10th Muse ice cream.
Oh, that is cool.
Oh my God, that's so awesome.
You know what? I think it's time to bring out one of my little souvenirs from times gone by. It's the 10th Muse trading cards.
Oh, no way.
Oh, look at this.
Oh my God. Oh, keep going. I see.
Oh,
wait,
wow.
slow her down. Whoa, go back one.
Jared, let him go through it.
All right.
There we go.
I just wanted to see that one.
Up. You know what? Why don't we go to some? We can go to some variant covers next, which I have. Oh, look at Rena there.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
No.
Yeah, issue number 1 cover.
What?
Look at this. The 10th Muse light bulb.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that is awesome. Do you have? I'm just gonna ask you. Do you guys have a 10th Muse bobblehead?
You don't even have an action figure. I had to make one.
But you. I mean,
All right, Adam. I feel like we got to find out. Do you have something better than a light bulb? Let's see.
There is a competition going on here.
Well, first of all, I mean these trading cards have a current market value of $58,000. That's the rarity.
That's only $20,000 less than the shirt you're wearing.
I know the shirt is crazy. Now
$78,000.
You made me stop looking at some pretty racy covers, but we've had some. We've had some more. So I'm gonna whip this one out now.
Whoa!
And
it's not that kind of stream. It's not that kind of stream.
Well, fine. If it's not that kind of stream, I'll put this one away.
Oh my God! Are you serious? What the hell?
That one's covered in
there.
So that's so the story behind that. It's the Tower Records exclusive. So back in the day, there was Tower Records, and they would pick up exclusive comics, and they would buy like 10,000 of them or something like that. And we did the first one, which was just an alternate of the first cover, which was just we changed the color of like the bar thing. And so they're like, we're not going to pick you up again unless you give us something sexy. And I'm like, okay, here you go. So we had all of Rena Miro's Playboy shoot pictures that she gave us to use for anything we wanted. And so I'm like, okay, here we go. I remember Jim Valentino, who was the head of Image Comics at that time, just saying, like, he was mortified that cover actually existed. So.
Yes, but how many teenage boys felt empowered now by your character?
Many. I just want to say, I thought it was a very tasteful, sexy cover. You know? Yeah, she had the bolt. She's a little bit revealing, but enough shadow to still leave it to some imagination. Isn't that what comics are all about?
Yeah, a funny story is, so when we pitched 10th Muse, and we pitched...
What, a blow-up doll? Whoa.
I already got that from my dad for Christmas.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry.
So,
I'm sorry.
I come from a different world. Like, I come from a world...
yeah, we know, Darren. We know.
Wait a minute. So do you have a blow-up doll or not?
I told you I got it from my dad for Christmas. My stepmother will be super happy. Let's put it that way.
All right, fellas, best behavior. We've got another guest coming on. Welcome, Jen.
Jen.
Oh my God.
Welcome. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. Look at all these men.
So you guys, Jan is my comic book mom. I learned everything about comic books from Jan. And Adam.
Thank you, Jan.
Whoa.
Yeah, like how to. We would go to her house and scan shit, and like, she taught me everything, and I appreciate that. And you're the one that got us into, basically, you helped us get into Image Comics. And so when we did that, we put together a like this big pitch, and we did it super professionally. It was super great. And then Jim Valentino's like, you're in, you're fine. And we were working with this woman named Debbie Bishop, who was doing a book called Black Tide. And we brought The Dolls by Randy Green to, hey, Erica. And so we had this big package, and Randy Green was just getting off Witchblade. We had Mike Miller, who was doing DC comic stuff, doing that. So we had this great package, and he's like, yeah, it's fine. We'll publish you, whatever. And he goes, yeah, I got this package from something like a G.I. Joe, and they wanted to do G.I. Joe, and it was Devil's Due at the time, and they weren't anything. And he's like, Jim Valentino was like, nah, that's never gonna sell. That's a piece of crap, and the artwork sucks, and it's this. And I'm like, it's G.I. Joe.
Doing licensed properties. He only wanted original content. So anything that was based on somebody else's property, especially a toy line, he was not interested at all. He wanted all creator pieces.
Do you still talk to him?
Valentino?
Yeah.
I think the question is, does he still talk to me?
Oh.
Because from Image, you went to CrossGen, right?
Yeah.
Jan did a really great book called Violent Messiahs, which Tone Rodriguez did. Oh, there it is. Oh, look.
Sweet.
I love that cover.
Oh,
Wow.
Wait, I don't see it. All I see is a blank screen.
Oh, he's showing
Adam!
It's what? It wouldn't show. What?
Oh,
Are you off phone?
No, now I can see everything. It's nothing but black.
Can you?
That's
Can you see it now?
fantastic. Oh my God, Adam! Look at you. That's great.
I know. This guy's full of treasures.
I got little surprises. I keep it all, you know.
And it's signed by Tone and maybe Josh
or Bill.
Yeah.
Or Bill.
Yep. Well,
Yep.
it's signed by. I think that's Josh and.
All right, point out the signatures.
That's Tone.
That's Tone.
Right.
Tone Rodriguez. And that's
Josh, right?
And that's.
I think that's.
I think it looks like a Josh.
I think that's Josh's sister before he stopped signing Josh. Because I think he eventually just signed Dysart.
Is that when he was like sleeping on your floor?
Yeah. So
what? You talking to me?
Yeah.
This is great. Okay, keep going.
So if he no longer signs his first name, this means this comic has a market value of guys.
It just might. I have to ask him. As far as I know, he only signs Dysart now.
So we're talking what, Jared? What do you think? $128,000?
Well, 128. Beautiful. You know, when you're in those places where the auctions, dude, 158,000.
158,000. But if you know what? I'm going to bring out another. What if I throw in a TidalWave sticker? What if I throw in these?
Gosh!
$50K a piece.
Stickers away. I remember that. God.
These each sticker is worth $8,500.
I was going to go 10,000, so yeah, nicely done. Way to put it under the bell right there. I like that. Yeah. You're pricing to sell, I can tell.
You know what? It's a special thing. We can even do a giveaway. One giveaway, but you get a sticker and you get a sticker and you get a sticker.
All right, he was just pointing at the three of us to anybody that's watching the stream. So.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Could you please sign it and get everybody to sign it?
Those cookies.
How's that cookie, Darren?
Darren!
Fantastic.
Next time, make sure it's one of the boob cookies, please.
That cookie chewed by Darren is worth 32 cents. The value has
32 cents. It's worth like at least.
That's my only substance I've eaten.
Stream's getting out of control again.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get it back on track. I got something if everybody's ready.
Darren, congratulations on 20 years of publishing. You're so amazing. I cannot wait to see what you and TidalWave Productions do next. So proud. Congrats.
Come on, applause, guys. Jeez. Let's pull up the energy of the room here a little bit.
Heart and soul.
We're drinking too much.
Oh, God, don't do that.
That's Allison. What?
My present to myself.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that adorable?
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's so cute.
I'll bet you that sweater would fit Jared.
I'll bet you I'd make it fit me.
All right. So, Darren, I got a question for you.
Hold on.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second, Matt.
That was Allison Sullivan. She was the Yellow Power Ranger from Wild Force. It was the first one on Disney. And what makes it even more special is I remember I would go to conventions with her and we would talk about boys. And I met her and instantly fell in love with her. And she's the one that, so I'm married now. And she's the one that I called. And I got Daniel, my husband, on the phone with him and Allison. I said, because I wanted a Power Ranger to give us a blessing. And so I go, let's pick it up to Power Ranger to see if we should be boyfriends. And so at that time, he said yes, because Allison did. And so what even makes it more special is that she married us. So.
Oh, that is so awesome.
I had a Power Ranger officiate my wedding.
Wow.
We had Debbie Gibson walk us down the aisle. So.
Not just any Power Ranger. This is the Yellow Power Ranger in 40 episodes. Yeah. I mean, she is like a bad A Power Ranger.
She is super great. And she's like one of my best friends to this day. So love you. Thank you. So, and this is my husband.
Daniel! What does it say?
What's that?
What you cooking?
Because it's the apron that I have on. I'm making a baked ziti.
Oh.
Hey, Daniel, does he let you wear shoes? I mean, come on, what's up?
Cheers.
Oh, cheers, everybody. Cheers. Let's get a cheers going on.
2 seconds.
Cheers.
Ooh, Joe's drinking too.
Oh, Joe busted out the yellow stuff.
Michael, you need to get your wife.
She's down there watching CNN, hoping to God that they call it tonight.
They will.
Let me jump in and check with chat again real quick, guys. Let's see here. Dominic Colby on Facebook says, I've learned everything I know about comics from Crypto Comics. I want to take a second to apologize.
So sweet.
We probably let you refrain.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, wait.
We definitely appreciate it, but, you know. Dan on YouTube says, hello. With a little emoji.
All in full.
Dominic says, wait. Was that the yellow wild force
Yes,
ranger?
Dominic, I specifically was getting that out there for you, man. He's a huge Power Ranger fan.
Yeah, she's one of my best friends. So
I love how Dominic's just like,
we're hanging out
stream down.
I collect Power Rangers.
Oh, Erica says, I have no idea how to join this conversation, but I love you and I'm proud of you.
Just jump on in.
Oh, I saw that. Time to drink again for Darren's tears.
Let's get it on. Cheers, everyone.
Nothing wrong with that.
To 20 years. To 20 years of awesomeness.
That's pretty
Darren
amazing.
Davis and everybody else involved.
Not only that, just the amount of success that you guys have seen jumping through some of the craziest, I guess, back and forth between subject matter. Like, I think you'd be hard pressed finding any other creative team or group, or Darren, even you specifically, that could pull off doing something like 10th Muse and something like Stormy Daniels' Space Force. You know what I mean? And having both of those under the same house is just, it's actually pretty incredible.
But it's really, really think about it, it really actually is not, because literally it's you take somebody like Stormy Daniels, who's a pop culture phenomenon, and you take Rena Miro, who's also a pop culture phenomenon, and turn them into fictional characters. And so that's what we're good at. And the only thing different with the Stormy Daniels book is we are developing it as an animated series too. And with that,
that's going to be awesome.
But it's what Stan Lee did with Pamela Anderson with Stripperella. And so that's kind of the route that we went with it. So it's a fun book. There is, Michael, you want to talk about Stormy?
Yeah, let's do it, Michael.
I mean, it's
come on, Michael.
We've been having a pretty good time with it, I think. And I've never written anything like this where we've got a team of us actually looking at it. Darren kind of came up with the spine for the show and the book, and then it's my job to fill in all the details, and then Andrew comes in on the back end with the quips, and somehow we make it work. It's crazy stuff. If you think about, I don't know, it reminds me more of heavy metal, but with a comedy edge to it.
Heavy metal and heavy metal 2000.
Yeah. Kind of like that, but there's a comedy edge to it that I think really works for it. And we've got
some of the greatest cover designs I've ever seen.
Isn't that great?
The
artist is fantastic. Pablo does a great.
It's so great. So the thing, once again, with the characters and stuff. So I have a brother-in-law who passed away recently, and so we named this guy Daz, and that's David Allen Scene. So once again, we bring that into it. And Stormy, even, working with her has been just wonderful. And this character here is her dog Munch, or was her dog Munch. And the Stormy Daniels thing was actually pretty kind of scary. And Joe and Michael will remember this because we did I have like a whole wall full of stuff. So we did this book together. It was Political Power Stormy Daniels. And I remember it getting released just right about the time that her biography was being released in in her book form. And so what ended up happening is that I got a call like at 7 a.m.
That's when I bugged Fry.
Literally yelling at me and like saying, if you don't take this book down, we're going to sue you. Fuck you.
Oh.
It was like threats. And then I got emails. I got like 3 emails. I was like super scared because at this point, you know, she was working with Michael Avenatti, and I'm like thinking, oh my God, what the hell did he do? And I was super scared. And so I called my agent. I'm like, hey, help. And so she dealt with that guy, Susan Ferris, dealt with him. And then all of a sudden it's like 5 o'clock in Pacific Standard Time. And all of a sudden my phone, yes, I still have a landline. And
oh, you're so awesome.
Landline literally came up and it said Michael Avenatti. And I'm like, oh, it's probably just like his assistant or something like that. So I pick up the phone going, hi, this is Darren. And then he goes, Darren, this is Michael Avenatti. And I'm like,
oh, that's great.
He's like, I got William Shatner on the line, and he's got something to say to you. Hold for Shatner.
Oh my God. So that's really good. So I'm like talking, and he goes, well, Stormy Daniels, you know, it's not her real name, and you're copyright infringement and all this stuff. And I'm like sitting going, and then all of a sudden I go, bing, and I'm like, you know, you are running for president, or you think you're running for president. And I go, you've done so many amazing things, and this is just coming out the top of my head. I go, what if we did a comic book on you? And he goes, what? And then I called Joe, and I'm like, Joe, fucking Joe, for Michael Avenatti, please. And he did. The next day, and then we sent it over to him and never heard from him again. So
at least it wasn't Shatner.
And then
I got that cover over there though.
So a year later, I get a call from the same guy that threatened my life, and he ends up saying, you know, that book wasn't so bad. And people brought it up to her to sign at like her shows and stuff. And we want to work with you. And I'm like, okay.
What?
Sure, whatever. And I go, what if we did a new edition of the comic book and we added like 3 pages to what she's doing now? She's doing a lot of comedy shows, and she's actually doing more than what people think she does.
She's a comedian. That's freaking awesome. Stand up like Joe Rogan.
She does, and she invited us. So we added 3 pages. We put ads for the Wounded Warrior Foundation, which she wanted. And I literally called Joe and Michael, going, "Can we do this?" And Joe's like, "Hell yeah!" He totally did it up. And so we released the book as Female Force, Stormy Daniels, and literally then I'm like, she invited us to come see her show, and I'm like, I don't want to stop working with you. What if we did something like Space Force, Stormy Daniels? And she's like, I love it. Let's work together. And we've been doing it ever since. So
that's
wow.
That is cool.
She is one of the coolest people. She's so cool, such nice. And now she's doing this thing called Spooky Babes, which is this. Which I think we might do.
Spooky Babes?
Yeah. She's into the whole paranormal thing. So,
oh, cool.
So, Joe Michael, how do you think?
Like she's a believer?
Oh, no, she is a believer, and she goes out and does investigations, and they're pitching a show, yeah. So
right on. That's so her show is actually Spooky Babes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, gotcha. Right on.
SpookyBabesShow.com.
Oh, okay.
So, and she's to be honest, she's so much prettier in person. She is so beautiful. She's so nice too.
So is M. Scott Russell. Much prettier in person.
Gorgeous.
You had a question earlier, Matt, that you wanted to ask?
Now I'm trying to remember it. Oh, yeah. So, you know, we have
took him
the
off guard.
20th anniversary of the 10th Muse. I want to know what that was like. When did you first get that, like, actual issue in your hand?
The which one?
The 10th Muse issue 1 from Image Comics. I want to know, what was it like when you first got that issue in your hand?
I remember putting that book to sleep, and I was like super stressed. I remember being at my friend Debbie Bishop's place, and we were like paginating it, and Dinah Swartz helped me copy edit it. So that's the one that she asked everybody what their favorite comic was. So we still have to answer that. But I remember getting it and feeling super proud that we accomplished something. Adam and I accomplished something super big. And we did our first signing at Golden Apple Comics because Bill at Golden Apple Comics was just such, you know, throughout creating this and doing this, I would go to him and I would ask him for his advice. And Bill Leibowitz, it was just such a huge icon in comic books as a retailer. And so I really went to him and I just kind of like picked his brain, and, you know, he's been super supportive. And just having it just felt wonderful. Adam, what about you? You got it too.
It was so great to have a piece of a tangible piece of property that you took part in creating in your hand, and that doesn't happen very often. You work for you work at a company, and you get you can see your work and you're being processed and things happen. But when it's yours and you're holding in your hand, and I have that piece of artwork I showed before, it's a pretty special feeling. It really is.
You guys do what I did when you first get your book, is you open up and you smell it.
Yeah.
Well, I laid it on the ground and rolled around on it naked, but you know that's. But Jen, that's what you told me you did. So
wait a minute, I'm gonna first step out and say, you know, that's a lie, because I know how all y'all are. As soon as you get it, you like pick it up with tweezers and you slide it down the bag, and then somebody says, "Hey man, can I check out your comic?" And you're like, "No."
You guys watch that. We're gonna try this here. Hey Jen, come here for a second. So this is sister wife Jen. Since we quarantined together, Jen, here. Here's a Jen. Look at it. Hold it.
Hello.
She looks so comfortable.
Oh, where were you when I was a kid growing up trying to look at comics?
Hold the comic book. Okay.
Oh.
Hold it by the spine. Oh my God. So you hold the comic book like this, and then if you want to read it, you do this. So none of this breaks. So now, how do we smell it, guys?
I'm sorry. What'd you say?
So Jan was saying that she opened a book and she would smell it, but how do you smell a digital comic?
Ooh. Well, you can get real close to your screen and scratch, and then sniff.
You like a fine wine, you take it in.
Oh, I like that. Swirl it around. Just swirl it.
Take your computer, just a minute. Take your computer, put it in one of the plastic bags.
See, we know how it is.
I'll do you one up though, Darren. How do you add audio to your comic book?
Ooh.
I have done it before. I worked with a company to do a couple of them. We did Female Force Julia Child, where it was audio, and we also did Dorian Gray, where it was audio. But other than that, we have not done that.
Did you know that the reader in Crypto Comics will actually use that audio as narration for your comic book?
Oh, exciting.
Yes, it is.
That's pretty cool.
We have all sorts of tricks.
Woohoo!
We had to, because people kept saying, "How do I smell it?" And then they'd follow M. Scott Russell around the convention floor. It got a little creepy, a little weird.
Okay, that happened like 3 times, dude. Come on now.
So
Three.
let me ask you guys a question.
Three, everybody.
You, the people, all of you, what do you guys think of the digital world of comics as opposed to print? Real question. What makes your crypto comics? Why don't people want to buy floppies anymore? And why, or do people?
Do we let Jared take this one?
I want you all to take it.
Yeah,
let's start with Matt. Let's start with Matt, and we'll work our way down. Go, Matt.
All right. Well, first off, just the cost of print alone, the print and distributing, that eats up, what percentage of your actual your profits. So by going digital, you could just shoot them over. Hey, here's a link to the comic, and just the cost alone drastically goes down, which means you as a creator get kind of a bigger piece of the pie.
But can
I take that?
Yeah.
So one of the ways that you let the world know that you have a comic and you're selling it and you have your team get one-on-one with people and get excited is by going to the shows, which right now there aren't very many because of COVID, but you go to the conventions and you meet people and you share the comic with them. And it's about building your audience. And you can't do that as successfully with a digital comic as you can with a physical thing that you can hold in your hand. However, yes, digital comics can reach more people. People don't have to worry about going to stores if they don't want to. Some people don't like comic book stores. So I think there's a give and take for both of them. But I think it would be really, really sad if the paper went away. I think that one-on-one experience that you get with the book itself and with the creators of the books, it's just not the same to come to someone's booth and watch their computer show pages. It's just not the same.
One of the reasons I wanted to have Jan here is comic books. I'm not saying Joe, and literally, I'm just going to say this really quick. Joe and Michael have made comics fun again for me. Truthfully, honest to God, both of them make comics fun again. Adam and Jan literally made comics fun back in the day when we could go to conventions. And there's Bill. Hey, Bill. He's a great artist. Chassis, not Violent Messiahs, but he's
the initial artist on Violent Messiahs before Tone came on. Yeah. So yeah, John Carpenter.
Hello, everyone.
Are we going to see some sketches? What's up?
I'll take your famous piece.
Yes. Oh, he does.
Yes.
Yes. This is actually his most famous piece. This is what everybody knows him for.
Just 1 second. Let's get a.
Oh, cool. There you
go. Bad.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
That's awesome.
That is sick.
He's an official
Star
Wars artist.
Yes,
yeah, I did this for one of the Star Wars Celebration shows.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Speaking of digital, it is all over the internet, but nobody knows who the artist is.
And he's going to be famous.
The art is famous, but
down the road after after you're 6 feet under. I'm sorry how it goes, but I mean, you're going to be famous.
Versus paper comic.
And rolling with the direction of the idea of digital versus paper, I think that the way that collectors in our industry is kind of falling down right now is by trying to pit the two against one another rather than having them work hand in hand.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole thing is like we're comic nerds. You know what I mean? We're collectors. We jump out of our way to get gold slabs. We're not, you know what I mean? We're not the suits. We'll put it that way. Is that the PC way for me to put that?
What are you talking about? I'm wearing a suit right now.
Well, you know what I mean. And the thing is, I mean, we're seeing this year, especially, you know what I mean? The downside of all these creators and like you guys, having to rely so heavily on conventions has its downside, and digital can kind of overcome that. Like one of the things that we do, I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but we actually put comic books on blockchain. So what that means is that they remain exclusive. That means that Jan, if you buy a copy of a book from Darren, you can turn around and sell it to Adam and recoup some of your expenses. Darren gets paid both times that book sells, and on and on and on. we're only able to do that with a digital format because of a technology like blockchain, which didn't exist. Well, it did exist in its infancy, but it didn't exist, enough for anyone to do this before. So up until now, Jan, for you to get a digital comic from Darren, you're jumping onto Comixology and you're essentially paying a fee to rent it. You know what I mean? You don't own anything. You're just paying a fee to be able to look at it.
So we're going to get Jan's and Bill's books on Crypto Comics now.
Let's do it.
Oh, Logan.
Oh, nice.
We haven't put it up digitally. We have quite a huge library.
Well, we can definitely work with you on that.
We would love to work. Don't listen to these guys. Shut up. We would love to work with you guys. I mean, we really want to work with you guys. Don't listen to them.
I'm pretty
That
sure
is
that's exactly what we said, Jared.
I got a question, though.
I'm sure they were saying the right thing. Sorry about that, guys.
And on top of that, the other thing I think that you mentioned was the community aspect of everything, which is quite possibly
paramount,
the largest, part of our platform. I mean, I'm not talking crypto comics. I'm talking comic industry. I mean, our community is everything. The relationships that every publisher has with their creators, the relationship that every creator has with their actual fans, the relationship that those fans have with one another, and how that circles back and helps promote and do everything that creators can do is often the most overlooked aspect of this community, which is in itself more important than if your comics are digital or if they're floppy. You know what I mean? If you can smell them or if you can listen to them, I mean, that doesn't matter nearly as much as the relationships that people build around those comic books. Absolutely. And thankfully, digital does give you the capability of, I mean, I've had a meeting today with a creator that's in Africa. There's no way I would have ever met him. You know what I mean? In local conventions. I'm meeting with you guys who are spread all over the place. You know what I mean?
From Australia.
Yeah, and I'm a fangirl. I mean, through and through. You guys can ask anybody.
Well, and just so you guys understand, we're not a publishing house. Mm-hmm. So we don't want rights. We don't want anything like that. Actually, what we're doing is we've set it up so that you get to self-publish your comics to the blockchain.
I will clarify, though, I kind of want that framed sketch that Adam's got.
Oh, dude, we're so going to work. Wait,
I'll take that.
Yeah.
The market value on that one, I can't even. It's way.
Okay, but did you roll around with it in the nude? Because that could raise or lower it by about 8%.
Yeah, it's definitely. Let me ask you guys a question, because, in terms of the, we're not teenagers looking around.
Well, speak for yourself, Adam.
A couple of you might be. I know, God knows Darren isn't. But there was something about our generation of getting a comic book, taking it home, and if you're a collector, but having a piece of it in your hand. And now you have something like, vinyls coming back in terms of records. People are buying record players. So I don't want them to ever go away.
No,
the paper comics.
Hey, no, I agree.
Just a minute. I still haven't got my chance.
Okay, Jared.
All right. Thank you. So, just so you know, we don't want paper to go away either. There is nostalgia there. There is a lot there, and we don't want it to go anywhere. What we want to do is we want to make it easier for comic book creators to actually make a living doing what they love. And when you can lower the cost of production, you can actually make it so those comic book creators can increase their profit margins. Then, as a community grows, you can band together and do print runs and things like that as you're able to create that revenue to support that. But a lot of indie creators, they don't have the ability to afford the runs, and it's a big risk for them. So if they can create
the runs.
Well, that's only you, Fry, after a bottle of whiskey.
It happens.
No, I'm just kidding. He doesn't drink. Allegedly.
I brought him here just because that's cute.
Hey, what's up?
So
that is like
that changed for us is, so back in 2008 we did. So let's go back even further. So in 1994, when Sold like 8 million copies. X-Men #1 when they relaunched it sold 8 million copies. The top selling comic book now maybe sells 150,000 comics. So we learned, I learned, and I've always taken chances and tried to do different things to stay relevant. And so in 2008, during the election, I saw IDW doing a comic book on Barack Obama and John McCain. And I thought, okay, well, we do female empowerment comic books. So why not do one on Sarah Palin and Hillary Clinton? And whether you like them or not, you have to appreciate their accomplishments. And so we tailored them, the female empowerment angle to them. And those books took off. And for us, to this day, which we've been doing the biography comic books for 12 years, we're not original. They've done biography comic books since the 50s. But now we're just the next generation of them. We still, and they get more attention and they get more press. Sometimes they sell, sometimes they don't, but they get more press. So,
hey, Darren,
Yeah.
just a quickie.
Darren, congratulations on 20 spectacular years. Thank you so much for what you do. Thank you for making strong women comic book heroes. You're the best.
Oh, Helen. That is Helen. She's from AM Northwest. I've been on that show a bunch of times. Super sweet. And just as I said, just like even with the Tiger King comic book, this is going to Tiger King 2. Yes, I actually have a copy, Joe. This will get more attention than Loki #14 or whatever it is. But I get it. So when it comes to print, and so one of the things that I do differently, before you just really quick, so we do print comic books, and it's not dead anymore because I do support. I'm probably one of the first people that supported digital comic books. So I signed up with Drive Through Comics. I was the first person to do Comixology, all this type of stuff. I've always embraced it, and yeah, I feel kind of slighted, like with Comixology now, that they don't even know who I am, and I get kind of pissed at that because I started with them and helped them, and then because we're an independent comic book company, we get rolled over, but just like any other company, I do try things out. So one of the things that I'm doing differently now than we did back when Jan and I and Adam created comic books is we're now with Ingram. And so Ingram is print to order. So it does take away
Excellent.
So it does take away a little bit of the collectability to it. And so these comic books now, they're a little shorter. So this is the difference in size between like Stormy Daniels 1 and 2. It's a little bit different. This one actually has a spine and can be sold into libraries and schools because it has a cardstock cover, where this one, which we work with Comic Flea Market, which is where we can do exclusives, is a traditional floppy comic book. So are we with major retailers anymore? No, I think retailers kind of turned on us, to be honest.
Most of them are gone, so you kind of won. Sorry, I should say that. I meant the bookstores. The bookstores, yeah.
True. And what's crappy about, I loved going to a comic book store. That was like my favorite time to go, like on Wednesdays. It was like I would meet Jan and Bill, and we'd go to Cat Store and go pick up comic books. Not ours, but just in general. And now I read Batgirl, I think is the one issue that I read, and they just canceled that, so I don't read anything. But the world is changing, and comic books DC and Marvel need to take a stand and start advertising like a property rather than their movie stuff, all that stuff. They need to get kids reading. They need to really change what they're doing to help even like the independent market. So it's hard. And so with the biography comic books, those don't stress me out as much because those are easy press tool and keep us relevant. And so that's why I'm like, Michael, are you ready to do a Jill Biden comic book? So, truthfully,
well, and those particular comics actually bring in a whole new market. New people to the comic book industry, which is incredible. You know, they're looking for that biographical. They can find it in a comic, and then it opens them up into a whole new world, which is something that you're doing, Darren. Which thank you.
But yes and no. So what happened was is we were with Diamond for such a long time. Adam, remember Diamond? So, Dan, remember Diamond? Bill, remember Diamond? So we were with Diamond for years, and then I did a Justin Bieber graphic novel, and they sold, I would say, 20,000 copies to Walmart, and we had to like change things. But then Walmart didn't really put the comic book out, or the graphic. It was like a mini graphic novel, and so out of the 20,000, we got like 14 or 15,000 returns, and so that's what killed us with Diamond. And then we set up a deal. It's not real and true, but then we set up a deal because there's also, when they say good press is bad press, there was actual press that said that Lady Gaga and Justin Bieber were suing me because of these comic books. And it was literally because we struck a deal with Revolutionary Comic Books, which Joe used to work for, right? Did you work for Revolutionary?
That's right.
Yeah, and so there was
Comics.
there was a guy who was in charge of their like shoelaces that that ended up suing Rock and Roll Comics in the 90s, and then it became precedent that comic book biographies are a form of biography. And it happened with the New Kids on the Block comic book or whatever it was. Did you work on that?
I worked on all of the New Kids on the Block, which kind of took it was half biography, half victory lap after the lawsuit was proven to have no legal standing.
So
that was it's funny, we're talking about like smelling the books and the first seeing your first book in print. That was my first book, and it was before Image and all that, when they started using the good paper. So my first comic book was on that same like yucky newsprint that the books I grew up reading were printed on. So my first book came in the mail, and I got that full bouquet.
Nice.
All right, well,
Tell me, guys, it's nothing like opening a fresh box of comics that just came from the printer. There's a magical aroma that comes out.
Joe, so did you feel any of that stress from the New Kids on the Block comic book because they were getting sued? Did you feel any pressure?
I was a hired gun, so I was kind of curious to see how it would all turn out. But I was hoping that nothing bad would happen because Todd was a good guy. He was great to me. But I honestly didn't think that they had a leg to stand on. We didn't use logos.
Right.
We didn't use, they were public figures. And if you can write an unauthorized print biography, there's no reason you can't do an unauthorized visual biography. And that was, gosh, I was 16 when I did that book, and I was like,
wow.
Wow.
Yeah, you have to be so careful. We did a book called John Carpenter's Snake Plissken Chronicles, and we did it in partnership with John Carpenter and Deborah Hill and Kurt Russell. And even though it was took place the next day after he escaped from New York, we weren't allowed to say the word New York. We weren't allowed to say, what else can we say? We couldn't say New York.
Couldn't name any of the other characters.
Yeah, we couldn't name any of the characters. We could say snake. And that was about it. I mean, it was crazy. Yeah. So, I don't even think we could use the word escape, actually. And then it turned out after we were so careful, and William, he wrote the book. We were so careful not to put anything in so there could be no lawsuits. It turned out that Deborah and John and Hurt didn't actually have the rights they thought they had. So
what?
It didn't matter, and the book actually ended up being a part of the DVD that went out. So everybody was happy. It was all fine in the end. But he had to write this book where he was like, you can't even mention that he was in New York the day before. So literally, it starts with early the next day.
Yeah, that's the first panel, first word balloon. Early the next morning.
So over here on chat, we have Rose asking, Darren and Jan, have you guys been to the UK conventions? I think I met you.
No, I haven't gone to the UK. No. Have you ever come to the United States?
Did you go to one to Germany?
I didn't do the Germany.
Good question.
One of our books have been to Josh Dysart went to the UK and did a convention with our books. So that's possible.
Oh, that's cool.
So Jan, I had the same. Hey Martha, I love you. So we had the same problem with Wrath of the Titans. So we worked with Ray Harryhausen, who I think I did 8 books with him. So all sequels, because I didn't want to like regurgitate what was already done. So we did this right after Clash of the Titans, and we ended up, what actually really sucked the most, and this is like probably my biggest pissy moment in comic books, or just this is where my entertainment world just like said, I'm done. I was just so done. Is that Liam Neeson announced, so they did the Clash of the Titans remake with, so in 2000.
Sam Worthington, wasn't it?
In 2010, they did that. And so we know that we had action figures based off Wrath of the Titans. We worked with Ray Harryhausen. But the thing with Ray Harryhausen is that I just licensed his name, and I owned the complete rights to anything Wrath of the Titans. So this is story out of class kind of thing. And so my brother and I, we created this new storyline, all this type of stuff. And then Liam Neeson announces in 2011 that they're doing a sequel called Wrath of the Titans. Like, what? And at that point, we knew that we had the graphic novel, and we knew that they had our toys. So we did a Bubo and, Perseus and all. And I actually had to fight Warner Brothers, and they threatened to close me down. And it's like David and Goliath. And I ended up getting paid just to use the name. But what ended up happening is I actually created stuff out of Greek mythology that didn't really happen, like Perseus fighting the Cyclops and him having a child and all this stuff. That really didn't happen. And they used my storyline in the movie, and I had no legs.
Oh, are you serious?
Ouch.
So that's like my biggest. I got the T-shirt. My parents went to this, and I got the T-shirt. Yeah. So this was the biggest fuck you, and I was like, I'm.
And your attorney, you get a bigger
but the best part is my attorney got a deal with Warner Brothers.
Yeah, he got a bigger bill.
Oh my God! Yeah,
that's like a conflict of interest. I'm pretty sure.
Darren, throwing your books across the room like that is just as detrimental to the spine as holding it.
This is the 10th anniversary hardcover, so it's totally fine.
I'm just saying, hardcovers content.
It's only worth $38,000 now. So
yeah,
it's gone down a little bit more than that. Adam, come on now.
Let me jump over and check on chat.
Right before
we've been kind of behind there. Erica earlier said female force, yes. Vaginas rule.
Here's one of the first ones. Hillary Clinton.
Oh, show that.
Or not, but it's signed by Hillary Clinton.
That's great.
So, this one, but I also have the first two we did is Sarah Palin and Hillary Clinton. Have them both signed by both of them.
Oh my God,
that is awesome.
Wait, can we show up also? Can we also show up?
Yeah.
Yes,
absolutely.
Whoa, get on it.
And that's signed by John Carpenter.
Oh,
my gosh. Yes,
right, just
all
stick around
the goodies,
after the stream,
Jan.
and I'll get you my personal address so you can ship that to me, Jan.
We actually have some written by Kurt Russell. I mean, signed by Kurt Russell as well.
Oh,
Okay,
that's
definitely
cool.
stay on after the stream. No. So Dominic on Facebook says, I don't know if this matters, but the reasons I like digital comics is there are no comic book stores in my tiny town.
Dominic, you can get books on Amazon. And
There you go.
on Amazon.
And Crypto Comics Marketplace. Don't be chinting, Darren.
But let's do this. In the chat, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to post a link over to Amazon where you can find everything that Darren's put together that's up on Amazon. Make sure you guys go and support the creators.
Please.
Always.
I was playing.
My team, we've done over 1,200 comic books. Literally.
Yes.
Which is
yes,
just
you have.
next.
Actually, way
That is
over.
insane.
It is
And
incredible.
Talking
That's
about those,
really incredible.
Darren was kind enough to hook us up with 4 of them that we can do a couple of giveaways with this evening.
Oh.
So what we're going to do right now is we are going to do another giveaway, and on this one, it's going to be a big one. This is a big, big
What do you mean?
one.
How big of a one, Fry?
Because the conversation
qualified?
has been, digital.
Wait, who asked that question?
I want to. Can I get on that giveaway?
You qualify at 35,000.
Listen, 35,000. Listen, I just signed a piece of paper with my name, so if anyone wants my autograph, that is absolutely worth $6.38. So,
dang,
currency
and a 10th Muse cookie.
Which is higher valued because it's got Darren Davis's DNA on it now.
Right?
So with this giveaway, we're going to do a 10th Muse Crypto Comics shirt, which is going to be badass. And
Okay.
so amazing, so much fun. And we're going to do one of each of these 4 books that you see on your screen right now.
Can I get that thing top?
Now, what's really cool on these, Darren, do you want to explain what's special and significant about those?
Right back, everyone.
Hi, Adam.
Look at Adam ditching out when it gets exciting.
I'm still here.
Sorry. I didn't think you could hear Adam. I'm sorry. I thought you muted us or we muted you or something. You know what I mean.
If you hear toilet flush, it's Burt Ward.
I am not.
Burt Ward. So, okay, I'm going to show you guys something. Okay, this is
Oh! Show us.
Right up there.
A plate of cookies.
No, that's. You can't really see it, but that's Adam West. We work with him.
Right here.
So that's Adam West.
That is cool.
Actually, with him, and so that's a science edition.
Oh my god!
So that was super cool to do that. And so with Burt Ward, we were going to do a spin-off with it, and Burt Ward would literally call me on the phone, and I just hear running water, and then he. And I'm like,
that is fantastic.
Matt gets totally freaked out when I do that.
Oh,
are you using the
hate
talking to me?
Oh,
I would just like to clarify that the 4 books in the shirt we're about to give away have not been urinated on by Burt Ward. So everyone is perfectly safe.
This is a huge giveaway, guys. This is big. This is big. We got to all prepare for this because this is a shirt, which is a kick-A shirt, and then 4 books, super kick-A books, and then we still need to know what's super special about them. I haven't got that part yet. I've been missing it.
The shirt or the comics?
The comics.
Comics.
So 20 years to pretty much the day, issue number 3 of 10th Muse Justice comes out. 20 years to the day. So I'm super excited. Issue 3 is coming out. We kind of planned it this way. I'm so proud. I've always said that as long as I publish comic books, it'll always be a 10th Muse. She's my first child. He has 4. I have 1. And she's also a light bulb.
Oh, that's so.
So I want to make sure.
Yet.
I want to make sure that this giveaway goes to a Darren Davis fan, and without anyone on stream giving the answer, because everyone on the stream likely knows the answer to this right off the bat. If you can tell me Darren Davis's favorite item to collect, he's actually famous almost.
Oh, Michael knows it. Yeah.
For what
Joe
he
knows
wants.
it.
what he really enjoys.
Adam's still
collecting.
thinking about. Daniel knows it. We got 3.
So if
Adam's
you guys
still
can tell
thinking.
us that comic character,
She might know. She's
I-
questioning herself.
Feel like should know this. Like I used to know this. Yeah.
Hey, don't, Darren.
Oh my. Hopefully nobody
The
commented.
first person to correctly comment this in chat is going to get all this stuff shipped from us.
So we're talking
a little bit of crypto comic swag, of course, but
Shut
the
up.
most important things are those comics.
what Darren is famous for collecting.
Skin suit.
Yeah, Adam, you're disqualified. What?
No,
Skin suit?
2 syllables. 2 syllables rhymes with. Girl.
Cereal boxes.
I actually
Come on, somebody.
So just FYI, I am doing an episode of Collector's Haven with Michael Pingle that will air next week, where we showed off my collection of.
Yep. This is really easy, man. I'm surprised this didn't go that super fast.
Well, we got.
I just wanted to make sure it was
It
there.
would if you let me type something in.
You're not allowed
real
to do that.
What?
We got Rose Kirby.
Wait a minute. Is it those types of artwork?
It's a character. The answer we're looking for is the name of the character.
Picture
one character.
Character for a character.
Put the
Yeah.
posters. Oh my gosh. Luckily, these are all people who are not major Darren Davis fans. They're crypto comics fans.
Yeah. We've been to your house, so we're remembering.
I remember.
Adam and I.
Well, that's the house we're in now, but we've been to one of your houses.
Adam and I have been to your houses too.
Could it be?
And that was the answer we were looking for. Batgirl. Sheldon on
Batgirl.
YouTube.
Batgirl.
I'm
Batgirl.
I'm Batgirl.
You know, it would have taken anybody about a half a second scrolling through your Facebook page to find the answer to that, Darren. I'm really surprised.
I actually knew the answer to that. I felt pretty awesome.
So, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Sheldon, right?
Sheldon Davis.
Sheldon
Yes. That's my dad. He'll love a shirt.
Sheldon Davis.
Sheldon,
do we know you? I know that name. That name's familiar.
Yeah, just make sure you contact us at cryptocomics.com/contact. Shoot us over a message and let us know your shirt size, shipping address, all those details. We'll make sure we get out to you, Sheldon.
I think he was on.
So,
now, real quick, Rose Kirby on YouTube had asked, are all your Muse comics on Amazon to buy?
yes.
They are, but the new ones are. The other ones are through Arcana, so you can get the graphic novels through Arcana Entertainment.
Do we have the Arcana link?
I will send that to you. Yes.
Awesome. We'll make sure we update.
Of
this
course,
video. We get
I
that.
have boxes of back issues valued.
Valued. Way up. Way up.
Way up. Way up. I got boxes of, number
Well,
one.
wait a minute. If they're in boxes, where are they being held?
They're actually right next to me. I cannot.
That's not
move
climate
through my
control,
apartment.
Adam. That loses like 20 grand right off the top.
Oh crap! Now they're only worth like 85 grand. Oh shoot! Just like this shirt.
Jeez, man, you better watch. Is there anything else we can ding them for?
Can I do a shout out really quick? So I want everybody to cheers Dina.
Right. Just 1 second. Just 1 second. Cheers.
Is
Cheers.
Dina.
To Dina, right?
Dina. Yeah. She's in the hospital right now, and I just want to give her a shout out.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Okay. Recovery.
condolences.
Coming in from chat, Rose Kirby on YouTube says, have you thought about doing postcards of each of the front covers of all your comics?
Well, we did. Adam showed the trading cards.
Mm-hmm.
Dynamite.
Yeah, you did do the.
I think the trading cards were a limited type of thing, weren't they? Or is that something that people can still
We are doing.
These are really old.
Oh, brother, here we go. Adam's going to be selling some right now. Auction off.
So one
These
of the
are
so we are actually on the female force side. Michael and I are working on female force trading cards. So those are actually in production right now. We're working on them. They should be done somewhere in 2021, which seems Stormy Daniels. We need Stormy Daniels ones. She's trading cards.
She's awesome. That Space Force is so cool.
Joe Frazier on Facebook. Joe's actually our boss for everybody that doesn't.
Yeah, he's
already
the big
know.
boss. He's actually captain of the ship.
Says,
No, here's Erica, everybody. Hold on.
oh, hi.
Erica!
Hi.
How are you?
Super pretty.
Oh my gosh, she's so pretty.
Go back to you. Get the solo. There we go.
Okay.
Okay, love you. Bye. Make good choices.
Make good choices, he says.
Make good choices. That's
Joe Frazier on Facebook says, also a digital. This is going back to the digital verse or digital and floppies. Also a digital. We're giving the feel of a book on a tablet, but we can now do new things. With new medium, we can also have page-by-page audio, embedded live or pre-recorded video. I thought we weren't supposed to announce that yet, but okay, I guess we are now.
Well, he's the boss. He can say whatever the hell he wants, man.
Yeah.
Just let's make sure we clip that and put it out.
Sales embedded in pages, links, choose your own adventures, chat embedded pages, so many ideas. Think Harry Potter comic books are now a reality, which is very much true.
Harry Potter said comic books? Do they have
No, if you went to a Harry book or a Harry Potter comic book, like a comic book in Harry Potter the movie, and the pages would be moving and talking to each other,
right.
Like the newspaper.
Like the newspaper.
Like her love for trans people.
Yes.
Sure. Rose Kirby on YouTube
Exactly.
says pictures of famous actors.
Cheers.
That wasn't. That was actually from the giveaway, wasn't it? I apologize.
Yeah, that was from the
Pulled the
giveaway.
wrong thing up.
Oh my.
Now Sheldon comes back and says, "Give to charity."
What?
So I think they're talking about the win they just got.
I'm charity.
Yeah.
You guys, I will tell
I'm
you.
poor. I need it.
Let me tell you something that we actually do, since my dad's going to give it to charity and all that stuff. So one of the things that I actually do, which people don't really know about, is I will reach out to nonprofits, because we have a comic book is 22 pages. And so there usually is like 2 to 4 pages in a comic book that we can do something with. And instead, I don't sell comic book ads anymore. I don't have time. But I will reach out to nonprofits, national nonprofits, and we will run ads for them for free. So we have done so many. We worked with PETA. We've worked with, the Wounded Warrior Foundation. We've worked with so many different nonprofits, the Ryan White Foundation. So
That is fantastic.
That is awesome, Darren.
It is. Didn't you work with PETA on the Tiger King comic?
we did. And Michael, since Michael wrote it, let him come.
Yeah, Tiger King 2 is actually kind of a sequel to the Netflix show. And to talk about where the animals went after, Joe Exotic goes to jail, right? And tracking that stuff down was hard. So we just reached out to PETA and said, what do you know? And they sent us all their stories behind the scenes, and it's really helpful. It made the job a lot easier, and sure it made the research a lot easier too. But it was nice to know that the animals actually had lives beyond the show, and that they're in really good places now. So that's what Tiger King 2 is about. And I'm really happy with that book. Joe knocked it out of the park, and I think he said a few times he's really enjoyed drawing tigers for a change.
Yeah. I don't get a lot
I
of
love tigers.
especially specializing in political books. I don't get to draw a lot of wildlife, so it's really cool.
Even the Sarah Palin book?
He didn't do the Sarah Palin book.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
That would have been an opportunity too.
So I
wait a minute. Hey, since we're on the Tiger King right now, I just want to show something here real quick, because I think this is really important to why. Oh wait, where'd Darren go?
I'm coming back.
Oh my God! You're like the star. We're partying here with you, and you just.
So let me really quick. So we're doing a Tiger King Joe is amazing. We're doing a Tiger King activity and coloring book, and so I ordered one because I have to order printer proofs. So I ordered one, and I got this.
What's that?
I don't know. So I literally had to complain.
That's not working.
I've never asked a creator for a signed book before, Darren, but I feel like right now I need to ask you to sign that and ship it to me.
I know what it's about. I literally will sign this, and you can make this thing right now, raffle prize right now. I will sign.
Then we all know it's a one of one.
Hey, it's a 101. It's signed. It is being signed now.
Look at him go.
So he's
Oh
signing
my
it.
God!
Adam, bid.
It's the most valuable thing we've seen tonight. Oh.
So
Brian's gonna.
Darren, Josh
Dan?
used to sign everything when he first learned that people wanted a signature, and I won't confirm this, but he may or may not have signed maybe a police station in San Diego.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Stuff lives on the internet forever. Oh.
Oh.
This is now up for a. I will send this out to whoever it is. So you tell me where it needs to go. I will send it.
All right.
Well, I kind of give away. All right.
Wait a minute. While y'all fighting over that, I wanted to segue into this with this, Darren.
Mm-hmm.
I am so excited about my husband's 20th anniversary of publishing comic books and the 20th anniversary of him publishing The 10th Muse, his first comic book. It's so exciting, but I'm more excited about the Tiger King comic book. Who wouldn't be?
That's so great.
Did you just throw those comics?
Do you not understand what that might do to the spine?
He threw them on her pillow
to watch.
Hey, Darren, is the next book called Tiger King 2: Electric Tiger Zoo?
You're going back to print.
Damn it! I should have called him.
That's a missed opportunity right there.
Got it. Variant cover. Got to do it.
Resolicit.
Great. Leslie on chat from Facebook is saying, that's amazing. I find it super amazing since I work with wildlife and I'm starting a nonprofit as well. Well, I'll tell you what, Leslie, since you just commented that and Sheldon wants us to put their win, to charity. What we'll do is we'll send those 4 books to you as long as you can show us that you auctioned them off for proceeds to go to your charity.
Yeah, she takes care of owls that are wounded and hawks and falcons and stuff. It's really cool what she does with wild animals.
That is cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So I started off. I love PETA. I love what they do. I'm not 100% on whatever like always, but this is the first comic book company we're the first comic book company to ever do a PETA ad for PETA. And it's like we won't refer to 10th Muse, Judo Girl, Victoria's Secret.
Pull that up, Bri.
Trying to, for some reason,
There we go. Come over. We'd rather be naked. We'd rather have you naked than you wear fur. Yes. Yes.
That was and then we did this for
I'm supporting that credo, Darren.
Wait, hold on. I'm pulling this off the wall behind me.
Now Jared just sounds like a little pervert.
Who's the artist on the piece, Darren?
As him.
Who?
As him. He's so amazing. And then
As him?
So I've done so much with PETA, as I said, over the years. We did this for Comic-Con, and they sent me a frame print of it. So
let me pull that up larger here.
it's from SeaWorld.
He will let you go if you let him go. Oh, that's clever. I like that.
They sent that to me. That was really sweet of them. But with the Tiger King, to be honest, Joe, Michael, and I, we did the Stormy Daniels comic book. We thought, what's the worst, best idea ever? And we're like, let's do this. And then all of a sudden we're like, what are only people? And I think I was talking to Joe first. And I said, what can we do? And because I always like to excite Joe. And like, when he gets excited about things, he's like, bam, 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 fast, super quick. And so I'm like, what if we do Tiger King? And he's like, okay. We literally got the book done so quick, and it got so much attention. And we worked with this amazing artist, Jesse Johnson, and he did.
Wow, I love that.
So if you look at the tongue, it's Carol Baskin in the tongue. So
what?
This is all literally every character in the Tiger King. And so from the new one, the Tiger King 2, Jesse did another cover, and it was done by Pablo. Jesse did one with him with a what's it called hat, a jail hat.
Crown. Oh.
He did another one for us, and Joe did another cover for us, and it's just super. This will come out November 25th. So,
Stephanie says, I'm a preschool teacher. I think it's pretty darn close to working with wildlife.
Yep, I totally agree with that. You're not paid enough, Stephanie. You're not paid enough. I promise you.
That's probably very accurate.
Totally
Dan
accurate.
Hollenfeld on YouTube says, hi, Dan from the UK here. Big fan.
Thanks,
Right
Dan.
on.
That's not my white supremacist thing, by the way, as we talked about.
Can I back up a second? Speaking, someone from the UK, I went to one of my proudest moments. I was in London in 2001, and I walked into a comic book shop just to see, and there was 10th Muse on the wall, and that was a pretty awesome.
Oh,
that's
that's
pretty awesome to see that.
That is
Yeah.
cool.
But did you buy a copy there? Because that's
Yes.
like $78,000 now.
The receipt.
You know what?
Bag.
With the exchange rate, it was way too rich for my blood. I had
Sure,
50 at home, so
Adam, you're supposed
But,
to walk in and offer to sign it.
Mm-hmm.
no one wants
Missed
my signature.
opportunity. It would have been like 60.
No one wants my. Listen, I have a little thing going up for my signature here, and I have I've been doing a tally. I have 0 bids. So
Zero?
so far.
Like,
0
don't
bids.
worry, dude.
It's great.
It's all going to work out in the end, I promise.
It's one of my favorite covers. It's Avengers 10th Muse version.
What?
That's one of my favorite covers you guys have done. I like that
Very
one.
cool.
Very nice.
Done by
That
Andy
is
Clark.
cool.
He did Tomb Raider for Top Cow. Super fun. This was such a great. I love this book.
Andy Park is second in charge of visual development at Marvel Studios now.
Wow.
And Jan works for Marvel Studios right now too, by the way.
Yes.
Jan? What? Whoa, whoa, whoa. We're rolling with the big dogs around here. I'm sorry. I should have worn a tie or something.
We don't let Jared out
nobody
much.
in the office does.
He talks about dressing up. Jared starts stripping
I
on
know nobody
stream.
in the office.
Yes! Forget the tie. Forget the shirt. Forget everything.
Dominic Colby on
Hey,
Facebook
Park.
says, Adam, I'll take your signature.
Andy Park.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank
Look
you
at that.
so much.
He said he would
Sold.
take it. He didn't say he would buy it, though. I just want to point that out.
Oh, take the signature. Hey,
Yeah, sorry about that.
Segue to Andy Park. Darren, another blast from the past. Do you remember this?
Oh my
Whoa,
God.
whoa, whoa. What do we got here? What do we got here?
Andy Park did the cover to this. We did young adult novels.
Wow.
I thought it was kind of like a Buffy the Vampire Slayer kind of thing, where we brought them.
Let me open up.
Oh my gosh. That is a full
And
novel.
complete with poster inside.
I forgot about that because we hired Andy to do a different version of her costume, tried to make it for high schoolers. So it's such a I don't even remember that.
Darren, I will sell that back to you exclusively for $13,800.
Andy's such a great guy. When I started working at Marvel, I didn't realize he was there, and one day his name came up and I was like, Andy's working here? And a couple months went by, and finally one day there was like a party in the kitchen or something, and he was there. And I walked up to him, and he did a cover for us like more than 10 years before. And I figured he'll never remember me, but I'll come up and say hi and introduce myself. And I tap him on the shoulder, and he turns around, and without me even having to say, hi, my name is, he just yells out, Jan, and gives me the biggest hug. And I'm like, oh my God, I haven't seen you in over 10 years. And you remember who I am.
Oh, that's great.
He's really an amazing guy.
Such a great, nice guy. And that's
an amazing artist.
That's when comic books was fun, is that we would go to Comic-Con, and it wasn't about Twilight or Big Bang Theory, and it wasn't about like whatever new movie is coming out that has nothing to do with comic books. It
pop culture.
Yeah, it became, now it's Pop Culture Con. And
yeah.
I've actually stopped going to conventions because comic books.
Well, be truthful. There's one coming up in December you're going to, Darren. Come on now.
So is Joe, and so is Michael, and so is Jan now, and Bill.
I love all of you guys.
I think it's virtual. Is it a virtual con?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Very cool.
The other
It's
one,
all going virtual.
the other
Going virtual.
COVID Con. So no, we're not going. We now go.
COVID Con.
Right here, you're all going to CouchCon on ice?
Yeah, Darren just made them all go.
Nice.
I'm making
I
Joe
love it.
and Michael as people that work with me. They're gonna have their own booths too. So.
We're gonna have a lot of fun with this.
And Michael's brother David is an amazing artist as well. So he's done covers for us for Alice Cooper and biographies on Metallica. Such a great artist, and he does.
Yeah, he works. He did the album covers for Avenged Sevenfold and several other bands like that.
Nice.
And I remember when I started writing with Darren, he said, I kind of want in on that Alice Cooper book. Do you think he'd let me in? I'm like, well, I don't know, David. You kind of need to have a resume, but I'll connect you.
We'll make a couple of calls.
Yes, FYI. So the Alice Cooper cover that he did, if you guys can find it, it's been it's now on Wish and it's now on Amazon. I actually had them pulled down. Somebody aped the image and they stole the image and put it like on sweatshirts and t-shirts and all this stuff. And we're like, and David brought it up going, hey, look at this. And I'm like, wow, okay, that's pretty flattering, but copyright infringement. But then I was thinking, what was the first time I ever been copyright infringed? And that was when I did the sequel to Plan 9 from Outer Space. And then it ended up being Plan 69 from Outer Space. And this porn company made my cover a porn.
Well,
Adam,
our name of our company.
good artists borrow, great artists steal, I guess, right?
Someone stole the name of our company and our
no
logo.
no one would ever think to turn anything into porn. So let's not go crazy here. So
Wait, that was your tower cover?
Yeah, I got a job from Jim Valentino. I told everybody before you got here.
Here, let's get it.
Oh my God, we did a tower book also.
Yeah, we
Greg Park. You know the best.
Full circle.
Yeah,
Andy Park.
Andy Park did the cover for our tower cover. That's that's
Well, do you got the tower cover to show?
Give me a moment.
You can find it. You know, Darren, you were talking about what happened with was it Walmart, Target, Toys R Us? What was it? I forgot. Walmart. And you know, kind of a similar, not quite the same, but a similar thing with Tower. There was this amazing gentleman who had been hired by Tower to do comic books, and he reached out to the comic book community, and that's how Darren met him. That's how I met him. And he fell in love with our books and did a deal to put thousands and thousands of our books into Tower. The problem was Tower wasn't set up to sell comic books, and they couldn't figure out what to do with them. So they put them in bags They sealed them so you couldn't open them, and they put them near the register. Well, not even near the register, but somewhere on a counter. Well, people walking in there without being able to look at the books, they weren't going to buy them. And then if they did look at the books, they kind of destroyed them. So people who thought they had to buy them only for collectability wouldn't touch them because they weren't in pristine shape. So it just never worked at Tower because they couldn't figure out how to put it, how to display them.
Really quick before you show that off, Bill. So we did 3 covers with Tower. That's the second issue. The first issue, they complained about that it wasn't sexy enough. So we did that one. And I literally did that in like 2 minutes. We didn't even put a lightning bolt on her face.
Oh, no.
Let me see if I can find that.
I didn't even remember that.
Adam's like, I got 12 copies.
So there's a third cover that we did, and they didn't buy any of them. And we had them printed and everything. So those are like the third Tower record one is like super rare. And so,
whoa, super rare, Fry, Matt, super rare.
Yeah.
So
Here's number 1.
That one we've got.
Hold on.
So they didn't like that because it was just an alternate cover of issue number 1, even though we foiled the logo.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, it was.
I like it.
It was. It's what it was. And
not sexy enough. We got it. Not sexy enough.
So that's why we did issue 2, because they were about to cancel us. So we threw the naked Rena Miro doing this on that one, and then the third one they ended up canceling the order even though we printed it. And I was like,
"Oh, that's jerks."
So Jan
can't do that with us.
I want to see Jen and Bill's Andy Park cover.
Okay, hold on. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Andy Park.
That is nice.
Andy Park.
Oh, we got some signature in the corner.
Who did that?
No, actually, that is just printed on there.
Who's the cover artist on that one? Yeah.
This Andy Park.
Wow.
He did Tomb Raider, and now he actually designs all character designs for all of Marvel. He did all of Captain Marvel's looks. He's done all Guardians of the Galaxy. Their looks for
Spider-Man. That's like one of his main things now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One of the things that makes Marvel different than other companies is we have an in-house biz dev, visual development team. And Andy is second in charge of it. So every one of the films is initially designed by our in-house team. And that's why there's continuity, and that's why everything has.
Oh, I love that.
That is awesome.
Yeah. And they're just the nicest, most amazing guys that I love walking into their room, and they're so wonderful. There's no like prima donnas in there or anything. They're just really good guys who are really talented.
So one of my favorite things is when we could go to movies is that whenever like Black Panther or anything would come up, I would always look for Jan's, like her credit in the film. And she always had one. And I always felt so proud because literally, Jan, as I said before, you taught me so much about, I'm going to cry again. So everybody grab a drink. So Jan taught me.
I'm ready.
Jan
Cheers.
Everything. Jen and Bill too, even. They taught me everything about comic books. Jen taught me more about the comic book business. And Bill just showed me the other side because I would work with artists. We'd work with Ken Lashley and we would get pages and then he would hold us up for ransom.
Yeah.
We paid, Joe, you're going to die at this one. We paid $250 a page for just pencils.
Yeah, I sat down with him and I said, "You're an independent publisher. Let's go over your budget. This is crazy."
Yeah. And then Ken Lashley, and this is, I'm just going to talk shit, fine. Because he's like threatened to talk about me. I know, this is totally great. So Ken Lashley has always talked about doing a documentary and talking shit about me and all this crap. And so Ken Lashley worked on 3.5 books. And then he was late. And I was like, really? I came from, as I said, and all this stuff where you turn stuff in on time no matter what? And Jan, you talked to me about pagination. Love you. But I remember stressing out because Ken Lashley started getting late, and so I had in Ken Hughes number. I think it's number 4. I hired Mike Miller to do like half the book, and then I fired Ken Lashley. I was like, "Fuck you, we're done." I didn't say "fuck you." I said, "We're done. Your books are late." And what he would do, and this is truth, real truth, and Adam can attest to this, is that he would not turn in pages to us, and he had to FedEx them unless we paid him up front. And we were paying him literally $250 per page just for the pencils. We were never late on payments. We took care of him. And he was lying about who was actually drawing some of the pages because it was the Draxel Jump company.
Right.
And
You remember that now.
yeah, and it's all coming back to me now.
I think I'm actually the one that pointed out to you, these are 2 different artists who drew these parts of these pages. And yeah.
Paying for all the stuff and doing all the stuff. And then I ended up firing him. And then I hired Roger Cruz. And Roger Cruz, truthfully, just gave such a great new life to the comic book. And Roger Cruz is still one of my favorite artists to this day. And he recently did the cover to this, which is, hold on.
Just 1 second. There we go.
So,
a lot of
I love that
glossiness,
cover.
but I love that cover.
So he, and the on the shirt too, he drew that.
Mhm.
So he drew like 2 new images for me in the last 2 months. And he goes, "I miss 10th Muse. I just want to draw it. You can do anything you want with these things." And so I made them the cover to our graphic novel and to issue number 4. And he just brought a new life. And we did a crossover with Savage Dragon. And then we did a crossover with, wait, hold on. And even Eric Larson was a part of it.
Hold on. Yeah. Okay.
That is awesome.
That's so good.
If you guys need to like literally look at like any 10th Muse, the Roger Cruz stuff is honest to God the best.
So Roger Cruz did number 5 of the 10th Muse.
Yeah.
And from there on of the first run of the first round of issues, or how many did he do after 5? Because I saw the cover of number 5 with Savage Dragon.
So he did 7 issues with us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then I just got burnt out, and then I kind of got burnt out, and I quit comic books.
Hey, I can kind of understand. It's a pretty rough industry. I ain't gonna lie, and I haven't been around that long.
It is it's like working in junior high school. Sometimes the most unprofessional profession, and that's why I'm saying these 2 guys, Michael and Joe, really have brought me back. I've been burnt out for probably a couple of years, to be perfectly blunt, and I've been putting out stuff just to put stuff out. And literally, these 2 guys have brought me back, and I just want to thank you guys. Really, you guys reignited my fire, and I appreciate that so much. Thank you.
Hey, cheers to Joe. It was Joe and Michael, right?
Yeah.
Joe and Michael. Cheers to Joe and Michael. Cheers, guys.
How much does everybody have to drink if I start crying?
I'll break open the Tito's.
We don't want to see that.
I have another reveal if you guys want to see.
Yes.
We always want to see reveals, Adam.
All right. So now, Darren, the Tower number 3, that was never Tower canceled it, but we still had the copies, right?
Yeah, it's probably worth a lot now. Yeah.
Are we talking this issue?
Oh yes! We got the gold!
Excellent.
This is worth
Damn,
how much?
Adam.
How much, guys?
I'm saying 100. Wait. What was the last one we priced out? Was 158,000, right?
That's at least 330,000.
It's gone up since we started talking.
$250,000.
I would love to have seen Valentino's face when he saw that cover.
But no one saw this cover. You know what? I got to say this. You know what, Darren, you were talking about, didn't we have a situation because we had late pages that the coloring was late? Everything was late, right? Was that happen? So in this issue 3, we had 2 pages which were like green, right?
Oh, that was Ken.
Oh, interesting.
Oh,
just like owning
right, right. And I'm like,
you're missing.
Oh, the PSM. Look at that PSM.
That's a mood setter, right? That's what the color is for. It sets the mood.
I worked on all those
the whole page.
Yeah,
2 pages of the book.
That's
that's kind of nuts.
Yeah. It's a little slackery. I'm just gonna say that's a little slackery. Ooh. Hold on. Go back.
Oh, that's a nice page in there, though. You got to admit that's a nice page.
Oh,
But this
that's
whole
really
book
nice.
is filled with a lot of green.
Oh, you're right. Look at that green back there.
But the cool
You got that.
is
But
when
that looks on purpose, like it's on purpose. That other page is.
Oh, I like that page. And so, like when Roger
looks
came
good.
in, he redesigned the 10th Muse, and he gave her like what I actually wanted is not. It's basically an Elsa hair. So it was this.
Hey,
and that's what I wanted.
Hey, Darren, is he the one that did the sketch? Throw up the sketch, Fry. We got to cover.
One?
That.
That's the cover to the new graphic novel, and
okay.
Oh, okay.
I love that sketch.
And this is 20 years after he worked on 10th Muse. He did this for me.
Wow.
And this
I
was
remember that.
Green. This was part of our pitch to Image Comics that I sent, that we had Randy Green draw, and and we had Digital Broom, Matt Broom, actually do the colors. She was actually going to be almost red, like with the instead of the blue tones. She was actually going to be red for a while. So,
Digital Broom. God, I haven't heard that name in 100 years. Wow.
Digital Broom.
Digital Broom. Yeah. It's
educate the uneducated like me.
It was
coloring house.
It was a coloring house, basically. But Matt Broom.
Matt Broom was an artist. He was actually an artist, and then he founded a coloring house. So.
Oh, cool.
Yep, and he called it Digital Broom, and it was a great name.
That's awesome.
When the industry was just finally all switching over to digital colors. It was that era from the late 90s into the aughts where there were still a lot of books were being colored by hand, and some of the smarter people were starting up their own digital houses to color everybody's books, and they were one of them.
Yeah. And did I you guys because of Dreamer Design? Did you guys use Dreamer as a letterer?
We did. We used Dreamer.
You guys, it's because we use Dreamer Design. Who, for anybody that does comic books out there, you can have the worst art in the world as long as you have good lettering.
Yep.
Lettering is any book.
Wait a minute, Darren. Wait a minute. Please re-say that. Your audio was kind of checking out. Just restate what you just said because it was super important. A super, super awesome secret for anybody who might be watching who wants to do comics.
So anybody that does comic books, the best secret that I can give you is if you have the worst art in the world, as long as you have amazing lettering, it can make a difference in a book.
Yeah.
With really big bubbles to cover up the
more look professional. And so that's my one big advice. And my other advice to artists is no anatomy. Literally, no anatomy. Don't have an arm that's like this and that looks weird. So
learn anatomy from drawing people, not from drawing other people's artwork. Because if they've done something wrong, you're just going to make it even worse. So, yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So, like,
comic book artists learn by looking at other comic book artists' work.
Right.
So it just propagates the necks are too long or the arms or whatever. And it's like, look at a real person once in a while. You'll learn a lot more.
I'm going to ask a question to each of my people here. So, Joe, I'm going to start with you. And it doesn't have to be our book or whatever. what is your favorite book you've worked on? Ever.
Ooh, good questions.
Wow. Well, it is one of the books that I've worked on. I'm going to have to say it was the Stormy Daniels book, because that was the biggest one that to that point until Tiger King. It's a tie between those two, because Stormy was just the biggest. It just hit like crazy, and it was a blast to write. I wrote that book in like 2 days. It was that was one of those. We were talking about, what should we do? What should our next book be? And it just threw out, oh God, we should do, because she was in the news at that particular day. Oh God, we should do a book about Stormy Daniels. Oh my God, could you believe? And it turned into. It turned into, I mean, eventually it led to the Space Force, but it wound up being this biography on Stormy that was just such a blast to write and draw, and was just so successful. They actually, the now this news that you'll see on like Twitter and stuff, they actually hired actors to act out a scene from the book, which was totally rad.
Oh, now I wish I knew about that, because I could have had a clip
If you
ready
see it
or
on,
something.
just look up Stormy Daniels comic book on Twitter, and you'll see the Now This News videos. And they hired a couple of people to act out the parts of Trump and Stormy Daniels.
It was so good.
Oh no. Okay, I'm looking. Hold on.
I'm gonna go to Shannon Bill. Shannon Bill, what is the best book you've produced?
I really enjoyed publishing Violent Messiahs. I mean, I enjoyed all of our books, of course, but there was something just really wonderful about, this one, about Violent Messiahs that I just enjoyed, because it was more of a psychological piece. It was a twisted love story. It just had so many layers in it. And then our other book, Chassis. Yeah.
Chassis is one of my favorite. And I love the Randy Green cover. That's Adam Hughes cover.
That's the Adam Hughes.
That's Adam Hughes for our very first issue when we were at Millennium.
Millennium, yeah, long time ago.
Incredible.
Yeah, it's like very long time ago.
My favorite cover of yours is probably the Randy Green Chassis cover.
Yes, he did. Yeah, I think he did 2 covers for it. They're both gorgeous.
So great.
Randy did an amazing book. So I don't know. Which is your favorite of all the books?
I'm probably still most proud of the Snake Plissken books I wrote, because I feel I really captured the voice of the characters, and John and Kurt and Deborah really loved it. So that was having their approval of what I wrote was pretty cool. And I thought it was a good story, and most of the jokes landed. So that's all.
Can I tell a quick funny story about
Absolutely.
Okay, so it was our very first meeting to pitch the story that Bill had come up with for the Snake Plissken book, and we called Deborah Hill. And if anybody doesn't know, Deborah Hill was the producer of all the Snake films, and as well as
Halloween.
All the Halloween films, Adventures in Babysitting. Anyway, so she wanted to meet with, we wanted to meet, and she said, well, I need to go to Bed Bath & Beyond. So how about if we meet here? And we're like, okay, it's a little different, but sure, we'll meet at Bed Bath & Beyond. So we are literally in the parking lot of Bed Bath & Beyond, and Bill.
It's me, you, and artist
and Toad Rodriguez, our artist.
And Deborah goes, okay, so tell me, what's the story? And I get it in just a few words in, and Tony starts elbowing me. And I'm like, hold on a minute. And he's like, Bill. I was like, Tony, wait a minute. It'll wait. We tell Deborah the pitch. She likes it. I go, Tony, what is it?
What's so important? And he goes, Adrienne Barbeau just walked past us. And Adrienne Barbeau, of course, is in Escape from New York.
And Deborah's like, what?
So
and ran in after her.
She disappeared so fast and just ran in the store to find Adrienne.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, so we considered that a very good omen for the project.
Yeah.
That the moment we're pitching a Snake Plissken comic to the producer of Escape from New York, one of the co-stars from Escape from New York wanders right by like a cameo in the background.
Yeah. Bed Bath & Beyond in Studio City of all places, you know. So yeah, that was kind of a fun.
That is cool.
Looks like we have a stunt double in for Darren right now.
Yeah, Darren looks different. Daniel, you've been
since we saw you last.
Daniel, you've been holding up so nicely.
Well, thank you.
You've been
we need
all this comic book talk.
We need to
making you glassy-eyed.
I know. Not my world. But hey, we need to hear from Adam though. What's your favorite comic book?
Okay,
well,
we're gonna do a COVID safety check here. It's all good.
Okay.
Adam, what about you?
Adam, your turn.
Well, you know, I'm not really a writer of books or an art, you know, or
producer,
whatnot. Producer. So I think though what I'm most proud of is actually I created this Harrison Ford art where it was half, you know, Han Solo and half Indiana Jones, and I think that Janet, can you pull it up so everyone can see it again? I'm most proud that I created that. Yeah. And that, you know, no one's going to know it was me, but I'm just proud of the work.
You know,
I'm very happy that
very clever.
Yeah.
Hey, it's gotten him some free party tickets and so forth.
You know, at least someone can benefit from my genius. So I'm happy about that.
What about you, Michael? And it doesn't have to be whatever.
Well, you know, when you're writing, you're always supposed to be, you're in love with the book you're working on right now, right? I mean, you can't really invest in it, think about the past. But so the Stormy Daniels Space Force book is a lot of fun to write. But when it came to working with Darren, there's been several books that I've been really proud of. I've been proud of the recent Kamala Harris comic. I thought it turned out really nice, and the artist did a fantastic job. But the one that's near and dear to my heart is probably the first one that got published, and that was the Christopher Reeve comic. And I think what made that one stand out to me was Darren and I had been talking off and on for a few weeks, and he talked me into trying a couple scripts, and I sent them in. And then the third script he asked me to write was Christopher Reeve, but it was the first one printed. And you guys were talking about getting that book for the first time with your name on it and seeing that. You know, I've been collecting comics since the 70s, and I never thought I'd write them. And then there it was. And it was an amazing experience. So what happened was over the years, I started working on my Master of Fine Arts degree, trying to figure out, you know, really what I wanted to do next. And my brother and I published our own through a big called Bender, which is about serial killers from Kansas, around the same time as Little House on the Prairie. And it was a real story in the hometown that we grew up in, Cherryville, Kansas. And so I'm proud of those books quite a bit. But right now, you got to check out Stormy Daniels Space Force because it is a lot of fun. And I just finished the treatment for script 3, and I can't wait for you to read it.
Oh, I'm sorry. What were you talking about?
Yeah, that one right there.
That is fantastic.
Okay, so Diana asked, so I'm going to ask the top 3 up there. What's your favorite comic book? Diana never got her answer, so let's get the through.
That we've worked on or that we've read?
That you read. What's your favorite comic book?
My all-time favorite comic book?
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. My favorite is actually on the system. And the only reason I found it was because of the system, because we were at a convention on behalf of the system. But it's a book called Out of Order.
Oh, I love those.
By a husband and wife creator team duo named Mike and Soul On. And it's fantastic. It's kind of about it's a autobiographical type of comic book. And it's about the guy's struggles with mental illness. And it's just paints everything in kind of a different light and way that I would have never thought before. So that's definitely my favorite. You probably wanted me to say Cosmic Ghost Rider, though. That would be my favorite.
I was thinking you were going to say that.
We'll look that up. On Crypto Comics.
Yeah. What about you, Matt?
Oh, well, okay. So probably I
He's
have
looking
to,
at his
I'm
notes.
I'm gonna go all nostalgic. I can't remember what issue it was, but it was a Super Friends. And the reason why I absolutely fell in love with this was it was the very first comic I ever actually picked up. I had no idea what a comic book was. My reading level wasn't really there, mostly because I could care less at the time. And I ended up in a comic book store and picked up the Super Friends, and I recognized Batman, and I was like, this is amazing. And I went home and I was like, what does it say? And my mom was like, read it, dumbass. So that was, that started my love of, just literature in general, not just comics. Other than that, as far as story wise, I would have to say one of my favorite comics was I can't even, it's a Daredevil run. No, I'm drawing a blank. The Daredevil run.
Electra?
No, not that one.
Alexa,
Born Again.
Born Again. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember the name of the series, but yeah.
What about you, Jared? You're muted, Jared.
Sorry about that, guys.
My favorite too. Yep.
Yeah,
that was a good
I
one.
just
Yeah.
wanted y'all to know. No, so my favorite comic is. Let me see.
I love how he has to look one up.
Wait, I'm not looking one up.
Top
I'm
10
showing
favorite
one off.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Dream Keepers.
Okay.
That's a good one.
It was so. There's a backstory to Dream Keepers. When we were first getting started, David Lilly actually was one of the first people to call up and become a part of what we're doing, and so it was my real first opportunity to meet a creator that has finished works and is working with his fans and community to really get out there, and it was pretty awesome. So this would be probably my favorite comic thus far because it was when I was first getting and meeting creators when we launched the marketplace.
Can I say something?
That's my.
Can I say something crazy about that book?
Go ahead. We love crazy.
Independent Book Award. You buy that. So I literally bought. So you pay to win that, and so I just saw that on their cover, and I'm like, I paid $75 to get the stickers. So.
Really? I'll bet he put his on for free because it's digital.
Well, I had on the I actually have the stickers that I actually stuck on this. And I won an award because I paid $75 for the award.
Hey,
wait, so you had
then you're
pay
in
to
good
win
company.
the
I am
award?
shattered. I cannot accept this reality.
Yeah,
I
literally.
can't accept this reality either.
Darren, that's the whole reason we were here celebrating. We're just gonna have to close the stream down.
I just want to say that's an incredible book you're holding up, Lost Raven. Now that is actually a really important book. I'm just gonna kind of give everybody a view of this because in my research I learned. Yeah. It won awards, but it's also tied to something very, very, very personal to you, and it's a part of something that you really have contributed to in your life. Me and you have had conversations about this, so if you don't mind, tell us a little bit about that comic and kind of what's going on there. And everybody, a cheers.
Yes, he's starting to cry.
Raven.
He's starting to cry. So
I remember being with Jan and my brother, and no, not that. That was about being gay. So that was different. So I I became HIV positive, and happy 19th or whatever 21st anniversary. It was like 99. I became HIV positive, and so in a journal that I kept, I would write about my experiences with it, and I've never had physical problems with HIV. It's not my story. I think the world has kind of changed from the 80s to when I released it in the 90s, or no, and actually 2000 something I released it. But I remember finding out that I was HIV positive. I think, as I said, it was 99. You know how I got it, so whatever it is. Be safe. That's all I get to say. But anyway, so I wrote a journal about what it was like to have it from a different perspective. And I wrote it from it because I wasn't sick and I didn't have problems. And that was my story. It's not everybody's story. And I remember, and Adam was my best friend. And I remember, talking to him and trying to figure out, how do you date? Can I have kids? Why am I taking medication and that type of stuff? And then, and this is a sucky thing, is that I ended up getting a job at Wizard magazine after DC and after doing my own thing. I got a job at Wizard just to kind of like get a job. And I went to Wizard World in Chicago. I think it was like in '99. And it was the time that JFK Jr. died. That's how I remember this. And I remember taking HIV medication for the first time, and I ended up getting super sick from it. And because they're not aspirin, and I've never had any physical problems in my entire life. And never been in the hospital, nothing. And so this is the first time I'm dealing with something. And so I'm taking this medication, and it's literally making me sick. And so most of the time at that Wizard World, I was sick, up in bed, throwing up, getting sick, whatever. And I finally agreed with my body at some point. But Wizard Magazine ended up firing me because I ended up confiding in my boss about being HIV positive. And I said, this is the problem. This is why I'm not super performing. I brought in some new clients, and they were homophobic and they were HIV phobic. And so I ended up getting 2 days after I told my boss, I got fired. So, and what even made it worse is that they were holding my paycheck until I returned all like their filing cabinets and their computer that they gave me and all this stuff because I was working from home. And I just remember feeling so kicked down by these people that, I loved Wizard. Everybody loved Wizard. And they were so horrible to me. And so, and I didn't want to, and I was about to sue them, and I had a lawyer, but I didn't, in 99, I didn't want to be the AIDS person, which I've never had AIDS. I did not want to be known because people are ignorant. I did not want to be known as the AIDS comic book guy because nobody would have picked up our books or nobody would hire me. And then because of Adam and what we did, we ended up creating something amazing out of that. So, so I created this graphic novel. So in that time, I was writing in my journal about what it was like to be HIV positive in this day and age. And it's got a lot of criticism because people died in the 80s because they were taking medications and they were doing things. But this is my story, not theirs. And so I ended up creating Lost Raven, which is an amazing graphic novel. So during the day, he's a lawyer. He does not look like me anymore forever. Oh, we can just get new gym equipment right now. So this is done by Kucha, who drew X-Men for a while, top tail artist. And I remember wanting to take my journal entries and make a difference. And it was hard. And so I ended up doing this graphic novel. And so during the day, he's fighting. So he quits his job as a lawyer, and then sets the seas, whatever it is, and then gets shipwrecked on this island that's actually doing DNA testing on humans. And they end up. So during the day, he's fighting monsters, and then during the night, he's writing in his journal about what it's like to be HIV positive. And I never, at that point, because still of people judging me, I never put a sex to him. I never said that he got it from a male or female, because it happens both ways. And so I ended up, I remember doing the press release for this, and I had 2 press releases. I had one for like straight media and I had one for gay media. And I just was like super on the fence about doing this. And I just fucking said, I'm going to own it. I have it. This is my deal. Let's do it. So I put my name to it.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
Bravo.
I just want to, toast. I want to add, the bright side to that.
Right. Oh, so I've never
Evergreen AIDS Foundation. You actually donate some of the proceeds to the Evergreen AIDS Foundation, and through those studies, actually, there has been huge advancements in the technologies associated to living with the HIV virus, as far as medications and things like that go. Correct?
Yeah. So I am negative. I'm positive. I've been positive since '99. My husband is negative, and he takes this medication called PrEP. So
that is so incredible.
So it's virtually almost impossible for him to get, because of the medication that I take, I am undetectable, and with that medication, it's just like an extra sort of precaution. So
right. Protection, but this came about because of research and people like you who actually donate to those foundations and make it so they can do the research necessary. So, I mean, really, thank you for putting something out there so personal, putting something out there so vulnerable, and then turning around and doing so much good with it, Darren.
But hopefully this is the same thing with COVID, because COVID is a virus, and
I'm with you.
Hopefully we do get a vaccine. Hopefully we do get things like that.
We're going to.
Oh wait, what's the date today? Aren't we supposed to forget about COVID after November?
Hell yeah! I already did.
Forgot about it.
I already did. Got her did. That's what we say down here in Idaho, or up here, or over here.
Well,
depending on where you are.
Cheers to you, Darren, for being a real life superhero.
Thank you, but we do.
Cheers to Darren for being a real life superhero, everybody.
Wait, hold on.
You know what? It has magically disappeared.
I was taking a drink. That almost went everywhere.
Wait, hold on.
As long as I'm the one who's winning, it's no longer around. This is how it works when you vote for me. No more. Goodbye. It's all right. Democrats have somewhere. It's just like Stormy. You know what? Stormy, anyway. I know she looks super hot, way hotter than Melania, but whatever.
Okay, let's all make a bet. Each one of us. Who bets? When do you think the divorce papers are coming?
Ooh,
January 21st.
They already came, and I luckily I grabbed them and threw them out before the wife could take them in to get filed.
February 2nd. Okay. Besides your wife.
Say what?
Besides your wife for voting.
Where are you guys? Where are all of you?
We're all in Idaho.
The top 3 right here.
Yeah.
Up here.
Is it because of
Just
cost of
outside
living?
of Philly.
Yeah, it's because of cost of living. Dude, it's so cheap here. It's so great. Like, serious. It's cheap and great. And
You guys-
there's like
And there's corn.
You guys need to follow Joe on social media.
Potatoes.
Joe, it's so amazing to follow on social media. It's like sometimes I cringe, and sometimes like, oh my god, I'm working with him, and sometimes I'm like, he's my hero. You
I'm
are
definitely going to have to connect then.
so, because we do
I can be a
political.
little outspoken from time to time.
So one of the things that we do, because we do a lot of political comic books, is that we have to be unbiased. That's like our thing, is that like we have to be unbiased. And Michael, working for college, you're that way. Working for a college is super unbiased. And I know Joe's world. And so you good work.
What?
But he does anything that we give him to do or he wants to take on, you do it pretty unbiased, which might be against sometimes your grain. So I'm super proud to work literally with both of you guys, because you guys, we have the AOC comic book, we have Pete Buttigieg comic book coming from Michael Frizzell, which we'll be announcing in next month, because everything is just a shit show right now.
We got the announcement on us.
Yep. Pete Buttigieg.
Darren, keep dropping them. Woo!
Well, let's talk about that. What's coming up for TidalWave?
Well, we have the AOC comic book.
You have some stuff being movies, don't you, Darren? Like in line to kind. Don't you have some people looking at some of the stuff you're doing for movies, like
Stormy Daniels Space Force?
And there's one other one. Secret.
No, not Victoria's Secret Service.
Oh, maybe that was one of the articles I read.
That was a long time ago. So
okay.
Things that we have pitched that we actually have screenplays on are Nanny and Hank, Gears, Stormy Daniels Space Force, our updated version of Dorian Gray. I'm trying to think. I don't even remember anymore because they never happened. So Adam and I, when we were doing, this stuff a long time ago, we got optioned by Paramount to do Legend of Isis with Kelsey Grammer's company. And
wow.
Yeah, and Lindsay Lohan was supposed to play Isis. But they ended up, did you not know that, Michael?
No.
So they ended up, so back in the 70s, there was an ISIS TV show. And I knew in this day and age of comic books, you have to kind of, you always need a hook to something that you do. For anybody that's watching, have a hook. So with Legend of Isis, that's my first comic book I wrote, which Marv Wolfman taught me how to write comic books. And Legend of Isis, there was a TV show in the 70s called Secrets of Isis. I did the opposite of what was happening in that show. And so when Kelsey Grammer bought the rights to it, they changed everything back to the way that it was in the TV show. And they added him as a father. They gave her a brother. They gave her amulets and all, like, it was super weird. And they literally bought it from Lindsay Lohan. And that was at the time when Lindsay Lohan and Hillary Duff were fighting for projects. And Hillary Duff's people wanted it too. So it was like this big fight. So I was like, so then Sahara happened. The movie with, I think it's Matthew McConaughey. And
I love that movie.
It tanked so bad that
really,
yeah,
I loved it.
That Paramount said we're not doing any more Egyptian films. So Legend of Isis.
Brilliant Hollywood logic there.
Oh,
Why
right.
didn't you know? Why didn't you connect?
No.
It was the sand. That was it. Sand. Tell him to cancel anything with sand in it. Now. All
That's
right?
what the focus groups told us. That's what the focus groups told us. We were only going by the focus groups, and the sand was definitely too glassy.
How is sand trending on Twitter? Is sand okay? I need to know.
Hashtag sand. Is anybody looking at sand right now on hashtag?
Bill, that was before Twitter. Oh, God.
Oh, whoops.
Let me jump over and check
we
on
went
chat
through
real
a
quick.
period where people would say, "So, what do you guys do for a living?" And we'd say, "We take meetings," because you just end up taking meetings and meetings and meetings and promises and then it's a crazy life. And in between, you're trying to make comic books.
We've got horror stories ourselves.
Can I ask you a question? Where does Leslie live? I'm sorry you have COVID.
Idaho.
I want to send her stuff.
What, you want a what, Darren?
I want to send her stuff because her and her son tested for COVID.
Well, we just told her that we were going to give her the
She's the one we're giving the charity win to.
No, but I want to send her more.
Oh, fantastic! So she lives in Idaho, and if you want her address, I'll message that to you.
Message that to me because I'll send her stuff.
No, I don't have her address. I don't have her address. I don't know how we can handle that.
We can
actually.
get them in contact with one another.
Okay. Awesome.
COVID sucks.
What she does is incredible with animals, with rescues and stuff. I've
Very
seen
cool.
some of her video. It's really, really awesome. Like really awesome. She had this baby skunk she was playing with. It was so cute. Ugh.
So Allison the Power Ranger is a huge animal person as well. So
right on.
Like super animal-y. Like she has, I think, she's almost like a hoarder.
Oh.
I'm not looking at you, Jan.
You're not looking at me after that. I'm over here or here.
You gotta look the opposite direction. The opposite direction. There she is.
How did the Brady's do this?
They didn't.
We
they
actually
didn't. It was all edited.
2 blocks away from the Brady house.
Guys, this is great. Adam and Jan live walking distance from the Brady house.
Yep. We really do.
Yep.
From the what house? The Brady house?
The Brady Bunch house.
All the exterior shots.
Yep.
Holy shit!
Yep.
It's our neighborhood.
Sure.
Coming from chat, we got Brodo commenting.
I actually live right outside the Bed Bath and Beyond, like waiting for Adrian Barbeau to walk by. So,
right?
You know the Bed Bath and Beyond we're talking about too.
Oh yeah, and that is literally a 3-minute walk from me. So
seriously,
why is everybody COVID? Stephanie, what?
I know.
Oh my God.
Hey everyone,
Vitamin D.
Guys, I got to dip out, and I want to thank you for having me. But
Thank
I
you
haven't
for
eaten
joining us,
anything,
Adam.
so I'm getting pretty hungry.
Hey,
this forum is great. Thank you so much, Darren. Congratulations on the 20 years, and you keep on going. Cheers to the 20 years. This mug has been filled with Darren's tears, so I've been.
Oh my
taking those
God.
down. I know. It's a pleasure to meet you guys, and Michael and Joe for keeping it going with Darren and creating some great books. And that, Jan and Bill, it's good to see you guys. And please be sure that I have the YouTube feed up, so if you talk shit about me, I'm going to see it. So,
Noted.
the second I leave. If anyone is interested, I'm going to be doing a monetary tally of my collection. So I will add it up, and then I'm going to be able to retire by the end of the night. So
There
this
you
shirt
go.
alone.
Hey,
so
we do
You gotta
our
pay
best.
something.
Thank you guys for keeping up.
1.85 million.
That's what we're up to so far. It's fantastic.
Wow.
Maybe, and let's see the signature: 1.85 million and 32 cents. So, yeah. Thank you guys very much. Everything.
Hey, thanks for showing up, Adam. Have a gravy day.
Thank
Great seeing
you.
you.
Bye bye, everyone.
Great to meet you.
Stephanie comes back to say, Darren, I have a teenage son. I'm pretty sure that teenage boys are incubators for all things gross.
Okay, I get.
Yes, that is.
Yeah, I think that's
100.
true.
I agree.
Okay, so one of my printers. So we have Comic Flea Market. Her son was in a hockey league, and ended up having to be quarantined because of this. He ended up not getting it, but his team members had it. So this COVID thing is real. So nobody think that it's not. 118,000 people contracted it yesterday. and it's that's the record, and it's not going to be good. So
Yeah, it's incredible how fast that thing's going.
Yeah, it's super contagious.
Yeah, Bill lost his mom to it, actually.
Oh,
Our
I'm
condolences.
so
I'm sorry to hear that.
Sorry, Bill.
Back in New Jersey.
Yeah, she was one of the, in a nursing home on the East Coast. Let's put people
That's
with
cool.
really bad disease in the nursing homes. When they get out of the hospital, they're still positive, but it's okay. Anyway.
That is
Yeah,
terrible.
we're all going to be pissed about that one.
Bill, what was your mom's name?
Ruth.
To Ruth.
Ruth, cheers.
She's a great old school mom. Like the ones right out of sitcoms.
Really
Well,
was.
you seem pretty cool, so she did a great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll say. You guys have been so awesome. Hey, I just want to say thank you. It's really been like an honor to be able to hang out with you guys and spotlight Darren, who's just been tremendous. It's funny. I would like to take the opportunity to do my little video now. So Darren and I met because I saw him post on a Facebook page, and I reached out to him. I was like, "Hey man, your stuff looks great, man. Freaking, hey, would you check out our marketplace?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." And freaking, me and him get on the phone and we start talking, and I have no idea who he is. Like, not a clue. I am horrible at research. You should ask Matt when he took me to my first convention. I was shocked. So I'm clueless as to who Darren is, and me and him get on the phone. And we have this great conversation. We're going along, and I'm like, man, Darren, we're asking people to contribute comics to the marketplace while we're in beta testing, and we're hoping to get to live transaction. And our goal is to make it so creators can make a living doing what they love. And Darren's like, yeah, I would love to help you guys out. He always gets into new things, which you are a god, Darren, for doing that. True neophyte. And he goes, yeah, I could totally help you guys out. And I'm like, sweet, how many comics can you kick down now? Up to this point, most people have said, oh, yeah, I got like 1, 2, 10. Okay. So I'm maxing out at about 10 right now. And anything over 10 is freaking tastic, right? So I'm like, yeah, man, how many comics do you think he's like, I'm not sure, man. I think, let me ask you a question. And I'm like, all right, any question. He's like, if I have to upload any of my comics, it's going to be a deal killer for me. And I'm like, oh, dude, we'll upload them for you. No problems. Freaking, what you got? What you got? And he's like, I think I got 1,200. And dude, I went silent. I was like, he's like,
I'm like, literally, that's a deal breaker for anything. And when it comes to metadata, oh my god! It's like, you know how many times I had metadata, and my husband comes home and he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Metadata." I'm like, "Fun? They're not fun. It's metadata. It's not being creative. It's all metadata. It's a 5-stack number, number. It's like all these numbers. You're just like, ISBNs.
What's even better, Darren, is Jared calls us up and says, yeah, so I'm talking to this guy, and here's what's going on. And I was just like, bullshit. I was like, Darren Davis made rain. You didn't talk to Darren Davis.
Yeah, he was like, whatever, dude, whatever, man. And I'm like, no, man.
And then I double checked, and I was like, oh crap, you did talk to Darren Davis. I was like, don't look at me.
Comic book that I did.
What was that?
I did a Rain comic book, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what we're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That literally is probably one of the worst books I ever read.
I actually liked it. So
did I.
Attack away.
So horrible. The artwork was so horrible. And then Battle Beyond the Stars or whatever that is, that's the second worst. God, there's some freaking stinkers. But literally Rain was supposed to be a sequel or a prequel to Victoria's Secret Service. And God, Pablo, Michael and Joe did the covers to it like 10 years ago. And It's a train wreck. The art is so bad. It's so bad.
Well, to us,
but honestly, I can tell you, truthfully, I know when I do bad crap, and I know when I do excellent crap. So, like Space Force and Tiger King #2, these are so fun. These are like, the artwork is pristine. Everything is pristine. It's like the 10th Muse, the new 10th Muse stuff, pristine. But they're stinkers. I've done stinkers.
in your world, you think they're stinkers, but you have to understand, in our world, it's solid platinum, brother.
No, they're
It's solid
horrible.
platinum. You don't understand.
Oh.
What you gave us and contributed to this marketplace was something that I thought I would be trying to gather for eons. I mean, it was so incredible. You've been such a huge part of what we're doing. And you guys don't know us. I know that, but Darren, you have been such an incredible part of what we're doing. You have no idea the admiration that we have for you and the thankfulness that we have for you, because you have helped us in ways that you don't understand yet. And we truly feel that what we are doing is going to help reinvent the industry and help creators make a living doing what they love. The idea of paying a creator after their book sells a royalty, that should have been started a long ass time ago.
We
you guys
basically want to make comics fun again.
Yeah, and
these two I can't even see who you guys are. Really, I swear to God, Joe and Michael, literally, I got burnt out. I was burnt out. I was like printing World of Luna, which is it's a beautiful book. I don't think I read it, but it's a beautiful book, and I published it. And I was publishing stuff out there like that is.
Anne of Green Gables, that was freaking awesome.
Actually, that's a good book. That's actually for kids, and that's a solid book, by the way.
Yeah, it really is.
But there's stuff that I produced that I was just like, fine, done. Fine, done. Fine, done. And then these two came along, and literally, they ignite my fire with like literally everything. And I cannot tell you how much I do appreciate Joe and Michael a lot. And literally, Jan and Bill, you guys are my comic book parents. You guys taught me everything, truthfully, about how to create a book and how to market a book and how to do stuff. And I really do appreciate that. And even though I had to walk through that house of
Hey.
It happens to all of us.
We had a lot of boxes of books back then.
They had a lot of boxes of books. But they
of all the stuff in our house.
But anyway,
95% of the stuff in this place is still just hers.
It's true.
No, it's that.
Oh wow!
Something or whatever.
I've run a lot of businesses out of this place, so I own it.
You guys are my comic book family. You guys are my new ones. You guys are my.
It's the other way around, but we get it.
I can't even. I appreciate literally all of you guys. And Joe, really, you are amazing. And how you're not working for Marvel, probably because of your post. But anyway.
Solve that mystery.
Don't forget about me when you go to Marvel. And you write your first Daredevil or your Moon Knight or whatever.
I'll tell you
about
a
any of
quick
us.
story.
We're fans, so
And this was about up and coming young comic book artist Joe Paradise. They were still working on the Michael Keaton Batman movie, and I go to a comic convention up in the city, up in New York, and this was before comic book conventions were big. It was just some ratty hotel, a couple of tables and stuff, and
Was it the
and
church?
I met Adam West. He was sitting at a table over there. I got the autographed picture up on my wall right now. And they have a table from DC and they have a table from Mad. And I go to the DC table and I show them my book, and they say, "Wow, you got a real nice. Your work has this humor quality to it. And hey, look at this. You can get likenesses. You should go talk to those guys at Mad." Oh, okay, cool. I'll do that. And I go over, walk across a little thing, talk to the guys at Mad. I say, "Wow, you've got a really nice sense of narrative storytelling. DC is right over there across the way. You should go talk to those guys." I didn't get any work that day.
I have a similar-ish story when I was doing the portfolio review lines. I went to one artist, and he looks at all my stuff and is like, he's like nitpicking thing is like, yeah, you need to learn like more about this and that. Is like this hand, like this thumb doesn't look right. You got to work on things like the thumb. It's like, okay, fine, whatever. So I wait in another line with another artist. I get to him, he starts looking at my stuff. He's like, yeah, this is really cool. This is good. You work on stuff. This thumb's really nice. No, I was like, did I draw a good thumb or not? I'm now
going to your thumb.
Hey, for all our female viewers, Bill, can you take off your glasses? And which Star Trek character does he look like?
Oh, hold on, Matt. Which one? I'm thinking it ain't Scotty. No.
Oh,
wait.
come on.
Picard.
Come on.
Picard?
No, I'm kidding.
It's not Picard. Who's the hell said Picard?
I did. I don't know.
Oh.
I hate the objector.
What?
Next gen.
Next gen?
Next gen.
Oh, do I have to say it, Riker?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh my heck. That's why I said Matt at the beginning. Oh, sorry, my bad, Matt.
I know, and
The
I
test
thought I
is
was
how
going to
does
let
he
you
fit in the
actually
chair?
try to answer something.
I've cosplayed as him at cons, and I met him at a con. He's a nice beard.
That's fantastic.
There's actually a cartoon, and they were doing this background compilation of all these photographs of the actors.
Oh yeah. Long story short, it was remember Mad TV like had a cartoon version of their show on like Cartoon Network for like 15 seconds. Well, for some reason, their characters are running through like the history of television museum, and they run through like the Star Trek section, and they have like they did like tiny little drawings of like their bodies, and then big giant blow-ups of their faces. And it was like it's tiny little body of Picard and this big giant real photo, tiny little drawing of Worf, big photo of Pike, tiny little drawing of Riker, my fucking head. They used
It actually was him. It wasn't Frakes.
It wasn't Jonathan Frakes. It was me.
That is great.
Watching the show, and I was like,
And we're like, wait a minute.
So fortunately, I could press record really quickly, and we looked at it. It's like, that is definitely not him. That is definitely me. That whoever went through like the Photoshop thing on like Google, need to find picture of Jonathan Frakes. That one's good. Boom, cut, paste in.
Can I ask you a question really quick?
Absolutely.
Have you ever read comic books besides the 10th? You don't have to say 10 views, but did you ever read comic books?
No.
You've never read a comic book?
No.
Really?
No.
His first comic book he literally ever read was 10 views, I guess. Is that really true?
3,000% true. Yeah.
That's so weird.
No, that's awesome. I told you, you're bringing new customers into the marketplace, Darren.
He's got a lot of catching up to do.
And he read chapter 1, and that's like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I posted it on Facebook.
He read Tiger King too. Did you see how excited he was about it? Should we all see that again?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we should. Just hold on 1 second, because it really captures the spirit.
I am so excited about my husband's 20th anniversary of publishing comic books and the 20th anniversary of him publishing The 10th Muse, his first comic book. It's so exciting, but I'm more excited about the Tiger King comic book. Who wouldn't be?
That is so wonderful. Well, guys, we're up over 3 hours now. I just want to take this opportunity to thank you guys for spending so much time with us on the stream. I really, really appreciate it, man. This has been so much fun.
You guys are so cool.
This has been so fun.
Jan, Joe, Daniel, Darren, Michael, Bill. Did I all? Oh, Jan!
You guys see why we added that software to cut it off?
And sister wife Jen.
Sister wife Jen, so sorry you were off to the side.
I've been here the whole time.
You were off to the side, I said, not out of the room. Off to the side. But you guys have been so incredibly cool. Thank you so much. I just want to reiterate to everyone out there watching in the Crypto Comics Nation, hey, please go to Amazon, support TidalWave Productions, or actually it's Blue Water Productions now, right?
Opposite.
TidalWave.
No, opposite. Now it's TidalWave Productions. Right. So please go support them. Their comics. Say what?
That's why you voted wrong.
Oh,
you don't even know how I voted. I voted for Castle in 2016. So
with that being
all I'll
said, we've
give
got
you.
the link for the Amazon books right there in the chat. So if anybody's looking for them,
Hey.
you can see them. And
I know how it was.
So fantastic.
Actually, it's more like this.
oh gosh. All right. Thank you, everyone. That's watched.
That was a joke, man. We're in Idaho. Shit, I'll go to prison.
You guys, can I just say one thing?
Absolutely.
Thank you for this. 20 years doing comic books, insane. I'm super happy to still be around. You guys, young, old, if you have kids, whatever, have them read comic books. I was a reluctant reader as a kid. Read comic books. Comic books is a dying art, and unless we embrace it and love it, read. Teach kids to read through that. So
Absolutely.
I love you guys, and thank you guys literally for 20 years of that. And donate to Adam's GoFundMe. Kidding. He doesn't have a GoFundMe.
I'm like, what? He has a GoFundMe? Actually, I want people to donate to TidalWave by buying your books because you got great books and you do great work.
And thank you for
guys are
doing that for
fantastic.
20 years.
Really?
Yes.
On a quick note, thank you, Christy, for making these cookies. 10 of these cookies that I've been eating all night. 20th anniversary. and thank you for my husband for literally, because we would get divorced. I didn't thank him, I guess. Isn't that how it works at the Academy Awards?
No.
So I want to thank my husband for
Academy
really
Award, yeah.
supporting me. And thank you, Joe, so much for you. I love talking to you almost every day. And Michael, I love talking to you every day. And Jan, Bill, you guys have made my world. And thank you, Adam and Andrew, for being here too as well. And you guys at Crypto Comics, thank you for embracing us. Literally embracing us.
Absolutely.
And thank you for this.
We adore you. Don't even worry about it.
You have to drink because I cried.
Oh, hey, he's crying. Let's cheers,
I gotta
everybody.
switch to water, man.
20 years, baby. 20 years.
Yes! Here's to 20 more years.
Here.
More.
No way. I'll just
20 years at the oldest American profession.
There you go.
Ooh, Jan, look at her coming out and stuff.
Space Force?
Oh, damn, I want to read that.
All right, everybody, make sure you use that Amazon link. Go and find Stormy Daniels. Go and find Tiger King. Go and check out 10th Muse. Sign up at cryptocomics.com. Of course, check out everything there, but go and get some floppies as well. So
yes, always
thank you
get
guys.
the floppies. Thank you guys. Hang out. Thank you. Hang out. Thank you. Oh.
All right.